And we are live. Welcome to Freshandfit Podcast, guys. Myron Gaines.
Freshman CEO.
We're here with our boy Roger, our real estate agent, guys. We're going to talk to you guys how to invest in real estate step by step. One of the most important episodes we're going to do. Money Mondays. Let's get into it, baby. Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome to Freshandfit Podcast, man. It's Money Monday.
Money Mondays.
Which, man.
Got Roger in the house, man.
Yeah, we got Roger in the house, man. Yo, a lot of things have went down. Okay, so I guess quick announcements, then we'll tell you guys what went down, then we'll get into the show.
Yeah.
So patreon.com/Freshfit, guys. You guys want to get the behind-the-scenes content that you can't see anywhere else.
The Frank Castles.
The kickouts, all
fighting.
that stuff. Because, guys, keep in mind, Trey always records once I start kicking girls out. So you guys want to get basically what we put on Patreon is Trey's angle and Chris's angle. You guys get some of Fresh's angle, but you don't get everything. As a matter of fact, Trey got that crazy chick crying. So
she legit was in the hallway. But I was telling them my life story. I'm so sad.
Yeah, bro. And I'm just like,
how do you? Because, dude, we want to hear you talk, but not mess up the whole show for other girls. They gotta talk too.
Facts, big facts.
But yeah, it's all on Patreon, man.
Yeah, it's all on Patreon, guys. Go ahead and get on there and check us out on there. Also, guys, we're on every single platform: Google, Apple, and
Spotify.
Just make sure you wear headphones so you don't lose your job.
Actually, somebody, remember I showed you the DM? He was playing the podcast in the Uber, and he got fired.
Lyft.
Yeah.
Lyft. No, yeah. He got hit with he got a complaint on him.
Yeah,
for sexism.
Yeah, in the podcast.
Yeah, guys, you guys think I'm kidding around when I say that, bro?
No, we're not.
He's a Lyft driver. He got reported by the passenger for listening to our podcast while he was driving.
Yeah, bro.
And for sexism or misogyny or some bullshit like that. Some kind of, or hate speech, maybe it was.
Crazy, man.
Yeah, guys. So just be careful, man. I'm not kidding around when we say wear headphones, bro. Wear headphones when you listen to us, guys. This kind of content is not safe for work. Okay. I mean, today's episode is safe for work, but in general,
he says, as I quote, I got banned from driving Lyft for playing a podcast in the background for sexism. LOL. F him. I was driving to build a crypto portfolio. Anyway.
Bang.
Damn. Shout out to you, brother.
Shout out to you, man.
You need some freedom.
Y'all think we're kidding around, bro. So nah, man. Okay, what else? Guys, freshandpodcaststore.com, guys, where you can get all the merch. You guys get these hoodies, okay? Yep. They're pretty nice and clean. We got the Simps of the pimp in the back. And yeah, man, go ahead and grab one of these hoodies. They're lit. And then also check us out on Freshandfit Clips. Guys, we are almost
100K.
100K on there. 85K. Get us there.
15K more.
15K more, man.
That's
Please,
it.
Get us there. Also, check out Fresh's YouTube channel.
Vlog channel, man. We go on dates, behind the scenes. We did double date earlier. Car vlogs, real estate vlogs, everything's always there. So, and also some of the Frank Castles too. But just a piece of it, the full parts are on Patreon.
Yep. And then twitch.tv/Freshandfit Podcast, guys. We're on Twitch right now. We're live streaming to Twitch, Twitter, and Facebook. So yeah, man, and YouTube is of course, obviously. So check us out on there.
Better quality.
Better quality on Twitch, guys. And then
this is Chris's Twitch. You want to plug it?
You guys follow me on Twitch. I'll be streaming soon. I got my place locked in, and August 1st I move in, and then I'll let you guys know.
There you go.
Awesome.
And then, guys, any video reactions?
Hit up Trey Talk Sports, man. Don't DM us, man.
Yeah, don't DM us, guys. Don't DM us.
Trey.
And then let's introduce the guest. Guys, yeah, we
got
a
new Instagram.
We got
follow it. Freshandfit Podcast. We did a picture with 6ix9ine yesterday. It was dope.
We'll tell you guys about the 6ix9ine situation, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
That was really good though.
Yeah.
Is that new one?
Yeah.
And also shout out to Wack 100, man.
Yeah.
Real solid dude, man.
So we'll tell you guys about that in a second. But Roger, can you introduce yourself to the people real fast?
Hey guys. First of all, Walter, Myron, thanks for having me back on. I'm Roger, real estate agent. Working in the Miami, Fort Lauderdale area, mainly work with investors, and I've been working with these guys for a bit, known Walter for a while. So I'm here to just break down some tips and some tricks to real estate investing.
And Roger is also well aware of the dating market. So shout out to Roger, man.
Yeah, very well aware.
Yeah, we actually met in a funny way.
No, yeah, definitely, man. You know.
Yeah, so
tell people how you guys met.
It's funny, man. So, was it like a networking event?
So I guess I'm gonna give it the long story. So I was gonna go to Germany. I was part of another chat group. There was a guy that just came in from Berlin. I was going to Berlin.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, hey man, can we link up or give me some information? He was like, no, but I can hook you up with my friends when you get there. And he was like, oh, by the way, I just left Miami. Do you know such and such? I'm not gonna say his name because I don't know if he wants his name involved.
You can say it. It's fine.
No. Yeah, I don't want to say his name. But anyway,
Donovan.
I met not him.
Oh.
I met that person. That person introduced me to Donovan.
Oh.
And then Donovan introduced me to you. And it's kind of crazy because, gentlemen, I knew Fresh back in the day when he was like the quiet dude, just chilling, just kind of like
more stutter.
I wish he was more quiet. Nigga stutters all over the place.
Yeah, back in the
assassin.
cut, like, and you know, and Fresh has just blossomed, man. So wow, yeah.
Blossom.
But yo, look, it's funny because niggas like, oh, Fresh don't get girls, bro. You know me from back then, bro.
No. Yeah, I mean, whatever.
Silent killer, man.
That's what I'm saying. Whatever,
Yeah.
bro. I mean, people just hate him, bro.
Yes, it's all good.
So and then okay, guys, I know you guys are gonna ask. So we had a great show with Academics the other day. We did 2 shows. We did an interview with him, and then we also did
late night
with him, which was
with 10
we kicked
girls.
out 2 girls, bro. That was a pain in the ass. We got a bunch of other girls coming tonight as well. We got a late night show planned with a bunch of ladies, and we got our boy. He's a musician, Papier.
Rapper.
It's gonna be lit. Yeah. So go ahead and check that out tonight at 10 p.m. 10 p.m. We're gonna have
10.
it. And then also I know you guys are wondering. So what the hell happened with 6ix9ine? So guys, they came to film some other stuff. Okay, we lent them the studio. I never rent the studio out to anybody, bro. Like I don't trust anybody.
Yeah.
But obviously, Academics is real cool. So we host it. We let them use our equipment, use our studio. Obviously, as you guys know, it took us a lot of time to build this thing up. So they were really impressed when they came in.
Yeah.
They did their thing, and we got to meet 6ix9ine. We got some things in the works.
Yep.
We met his manager. Met him. Real cool dude. Really down to earth, man. You know, he introduces himself by his first name. He's really cool, man. Real chill guy.
Yep.
Like what you guys see on the cameras, like obviously, you know, he's an entertainer, but he's a nice guy, man.
But
he's a nice guy.
wait, can we get a Don DeMarco for Fresh for making it happen? So the #1 marketer,
bro, I was
networker
stressing that whole weekend, bro. Like, guys, you understand something, right? When you do networking, it's not only like, oh, hey, do me a favor. It's building a connection, building a relationship, because it goes into, okay, why am I gonna mess with you? Do I trust you? Are you a good person? Are you gonna backstab me? All these things come into play, and you have to display value. First off and foremost, you need value. But secondly, you also need to be a good person and genuinely want to add value to someone's life. So honestly, man, we put in the work every single day. Myron does his thing at networking too, me as well. But we put it together, and we bring you guys some of the best guests here. You know, so it works out,
man. Yeah, and at the end of the day, you guys, we all win because, you know, this is a diversified podcast. We're not just a dating podcast, guys. We also teach you guys how to get in shape. I have a full fitness playlist on here that no one watches.
Yep.
And we talk to you guys about how to make money. We're literally about to give you guys elite level type information. So for anyone that doesn't know anything about real estate investing, we're about to give you guys basically a good A to Z presentation here. And I got a whiteboard ready to go as well.
Yeah.
So we're going to go right into this.
And this is no bull crap. This is straight to the facts. How to get started in real estate.
Yep.
A to Z.
Yep, exactly. And then let's hit these super chats real quick and then we'll get into it. Okay, so
let me 1 second.
Yep.
There we go.
So we got $2.99. Thank you for the game, the podcast with Jabrizi. Shout out to Jabrizi. We did a whole episode on how to make money on social media with Jabrizi, guys. Go check that one back out. $5 Black Wolf Inc. Thanks for doing this topic. Real estate may be a venture I want to have. If you ever get a house, would you convert it to a bigger studio for the podcast? No, I keep it like this. $5. That 19-year-old that left called you guys M words on her Instagram. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yo, Chris, for the end of the show, can you pull up that stupidity real quick?
Yeah,
I know you have it saved. Okay, and then we got Beats by AS3. Guys, we're going to show you literally the stupidity of chicks in 2021, bro. Okay, $5. Beats by AS3. Thanks for the content. Trying to get my first property before 19. Going to get this Austin and San Antonio market while I'm in college. Absolutely, man. I was working out in the Fresh and Fit, I feel like shirt. And this guy looked at me like he saw a ghost. $5 from Michelle 98.
Michelle.
Thank you. On Jemima. Y'all's had people of all kinds. I can't read. I got to get my glasses. Go ahead.
What about a politician, Larry Elder, running for governor of Cali? Maybe big name also. Fresh, thanks for the feet pics. What the? Bro, what? I didn't see no damn feet pics. Jemima, chill out. Black Wolf Inc., $5. Salute to the 44th president of the United States and the voice of Black America, Barack Obama. Okay. Jemima, once again, $5. Also, can we get some advice about networking with other men to establish ourselves? Want to network when they ship out to the Marines? Actually, I may do a course on networking because you guys have been asking for it all the time.
Yeah, Fred,
so
I think definitely.
Because I'll do a course on
Absolutely.
how I do it. And guys, I stutter, bro. Like, dude, you understand, right, bro? It's not also about what you say. It's about how you say it, how you do it, who you are as a person, if you're genuine, if you're definitely. Because the thing is, right, you can fake it, but people will weed it out eventually. But if you're true to who you are and you add real value to them, and it may not even be like the biggest thing, but it could be your own way. That goes a long way. And at that point, when you figure out, okay, number one thing is to humble yourself. I mean, I'm gonna go through a whole spiel about it eventually, but the beginning part is to humble yourself and know that, you know what, I may be confident in what I'm doing, but I don't know everything. Someone else knows somebody, and you're only one person away from meeting someone that you want to meet.
No, absolutely, yeah.
Don't ever think you can't meet. Like, for example, you want to meet 6ix9ine, academics. You want to meet Drake. It could be, I don't know. The point is, you're one person away from meeting who you want to meet, and at the same time, once you add enough value, they will at least respond to you and find out what they need. But yeah, and then we got also as well. We got here free agent Q. Oh no, Roy Barnes, $5. There's no such thing as an ugly billionaire. Jay-Z stopped being called too ugly for Beyonce a long time ago. Fellas, get your paper up. That's true.
Yep.
My money make me handsome, right?
Free agent Q, $10. Yo, Myron, these academics was a fun guest. But how much was the Frank Castle meter loading? He seemed to have taken over the show and interrupted y'all quite a bit during the podcast.
I mean, he's the guest, bro.
He's a guest, bro.
Like that's fine. I mean, like, the thing is this, guys. We already knew that's how he was. I mean, he even warned us before the show.
Yeah.
Like, he even warned us before.
And
the
he
show.
was on Henny, man. Henny Demics, man.
Yeah, Henny Demics.
You gotta let him ride. Let him ride.
Yeah, like it's fine, bro. Like, when you have a guest, you let them speak. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Like, when we had Andrew here, we wouldn't have had the epic podcast if I sat there just like hogging the mic and stuff. Like, nah, man. When the guest comes, you got to let them talk. So it's not a big deal. You guys hear us every single day, so we don't mind.
Over the $5. Remember for this real estate info. If y'all come to Atlanta, hit your boy up.
Okay.
Cool.
Yeah, we an Atlanta trip is definitely long overdue.
Yeah, we
just got to figure out when we're gonna do it.
AMS said he's gonna take us around. So
shit.
Shout to AMS.
I don't want to go to Atlanta, to be honest with you.
I want to go.
I don't want. You want to go?
Hell yeah, bro. Let's go, man.
Last two.
I want to go. Ivan Castellanos, $5. Are y'all gonna talk about
1031 exchange?
Oh
yeah,
we can talk about it.
I can talk about
it. But guys,
it.
That's an advanced level, technique, man. This is gonna be
the beginner stage.
But we can go into the more advanced stuff as well. But we're gonna go from like A to Z here. Okay, Snuggle 668. Okay, $5. When are you going to have an interview with Savings Minus Debt Fresh Prince?
Oh yeah, that's my boy LJ. Actually, he's the first person that taught me how to get out of debt. So shout out to him, man. He's really cool.
Sweet. Okay, guys. So
from here on, guys, 20 and up, because the show
20 and up.
Yeah, this is a very important show, guys. So, all right, cool. So you want to get into real estate. You want to start. So, let's talk about what real estate is, guys. Basically, it's the acquirement of property, right? And real-time property that you can use, that tangible that acquires most of the time appreciation to some degree, which increases in value, right? So, go ahead. Can I
add some? So, all right. So, since we're talking about, real estate is real property, and you have to have land. Like in Florida, obviously, we have like boats, houseboats. That's not real estate. Just for some people, people understand that a houseboat, if it can move, that's not real estate.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So guys, your trailer doesn't count.
Stationary.
Exactly. So just so people understand it. Now the land underneath, yes. And if there's property attached to that land, as in it can't move, like that together is considered real estate. That's so everyone knows.
Distinction.
Yeah.
Okay. So number one, guys. So we got to figure out. So step 0, before you even get into this, we got to figure out
the goal.
What is your goal? Okay.
Absolutely.
What is your goal? Is it to make passive income? Is it to get a vacation home that you don't have to pay for anymore? Is it to purchase a property for the goal of speculating that it's going to appreciate, or is it somewhere that you want to buy to live in?
Family.
Family. What else, Roger? Am I missing something? Why would someone? Maybe a vacation home, maybe speculative.
Airbnb.
Yeah, I mean, so you got
Airbnb.
Income. So that's what I'm saying. Some people want cash flow.
Yeah.
Some people are more concerned with cash flow breaking even, and then really concerned with appreciation, especially in an area they think that they see a lot of stuff going on. There could be mass appreciation. And some people in some certain instances are looking at real estate as a tax benefit.
Okay.
So yeah.
So it really depends on what you want. Now, for the purposes of this podcast, guys, we're going to talk pretty much about cash flow only. Okay.
Yeah.
If your goal is to make money passively, right? Well, it's not really passive because you're still maintaining the property, everything else like that, but damn near passively, right? Through rent and everything else like that, and tenants paying you, then this is the episode for you, because that is all we really care about at this. I mean, me and Fresh at least, and then Roger as well.
Yeah.
So step one, figure out what your goal is. So let's assume that you want to get into real estate to get passive income, cash flow, right? So that you can basically chill, not have to work, get a bunch of money coming in at the first of every month or middle of every month, no matter what, depending on when people pay you rent, and you're just chilling. And you could basically supplement that as your income, and then get to a point where you no longer have to go to work. So for me, guys, I'll give you my personal goal right now. My personal goal is to make $10,000 a month with real estate alone. Okay, that is my goal right now, to build up my portfolio to that level. Hopefully by the end of this year, if not by the early 2022, right? Then from there, I'm going to expand it and try to work to get to 20 grand a month passively with income. And then at that point, I'm going to be chilling. I'm not going to do anything. but that's, and then we'll still be doing the podcast, everything else like that. But I'm trying to basically, all my money that I'm making right now, I'm just throwing it into real estate so that I can basically take my earned income, putting it into an asset, and then getting back, passive income. And then that's when you can do the stupid stuff with your money, buying Rolexes, everything else. I'll just mess with you, man.
Yeah.
But then you can start to really buy the toys. Obviously, Fresh was able to buy it in a way that'll benefit him in the future. But that's my personal goal. What's your goal with it, Fresh?
So my goal is basically, I never wanted to rely on working a job.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I wanted to have my expenses paid for. So my real estate covers my expenses.
Mhm.
So basically, my rent, my bills for phone, light, whatever, that's covered by my rental income for cash flow. So right now, I'm happy with my current state of real estate. However, I do want to acquire an apartment complex later on, like Grant Cardone, the Billy is basically to get like a property like that. They'll pay me a huge dividend one time. Because me personally, I don't want like a bunch of properties. I just want like one big one, and I'm cool. But other than that, just cover expenses. Cover like maybe a car payment, or even basically, I want to cover all my expenses through real estate.
No,
that's pretty much it. So.
Okay. So and then for me, Roger, what about you?
Yeah, I mean, my personal goal is like to have 3 properties comprising of about 300 units, making about between 100K to 150K a month.
Mm.
And at that point, I think I'll be in a position where, I won't have to work unless I really want.
Yeah,
to work.
right. Holy crap, that's a lofty goal.
But I'll still want to do deals. But yeah, at that point, it'll basically give me enough money to do everything that honestly, I have a long bucket list. A lot of traveling. I want a yacht. I see a yacht in my future. See scuba diving, skiing in the Alps, things like that. So yeah, I need quite a bit of money coming in to be able to do all the stuff I want to do.
Think about Ben Mala. He's a bunch of units. He just travels. His family has fun.
No, yeah, that's another thing too. As you guys know, I've got not a huge family, but I got some people I want to be able to take, with me on vacation. And even my boys would be like, yo, let's go do New Year's in Cape Verde. You know what I mean? And I got you guys. Let's go.
It's freedom, man.
Yeah.
Like cash flow is freedom.
No, it absolutely is. So, and also guys, and we're going to talk to you guys about how you calculate cash flow, what's the best, what you're looking for as far as like cash on cash return, cap rates, all that. We're going to talk about that. But real quick, with my portfolio, guys. So at the moment, right, I have 3 real estate properties. I have a home, right, that I own, my childhood home. And then I own 2 properties, one in Florida and one here in Miami, and then one in Connecticut, which I closed on last like 2-3 weeks ago. And then I'm under contract for another 2, which me and Roger are working on right now. I can't go into detail, but as soon as we close them, guys, don't worry, I will break down how we found it, the numbers, all that other stuff. I got to hide the address because some of you guys are going to stalk. But we'll talk about it after I close on it. But I'm going to talk to you on this episode. We're going to talk about how to go from A to Z. So step 0, what is your goal? Identify your goal, right? So for the purpose of this show, we're talking about making passive income, okay? Now, we're going to get into step 1, all right, which is...
Round 1, fight!
Guys, you gotta get your credit on point, man.
Yep.
I cannot stress this enough, okay? Shout out to our boys over at IdentityIQ, right? Yep. Guys, get your credit taken care of. Yep. Like, there's no way around it, man. If you want to buy assets that are going to be able to pay you dividends in the future, especially big purchases, you need good credit, man. Work on it. If your credit sucks now, work towards improving it. You got debt, whatever it is, start focusing on either paying it off or at least making your payments on time, guys. Like, what do you guys take on this?
I'll never forget, right?
No, 100%.
My first time here in America, man. Like, I didn't know anything. I didn't know anybody.
Coming to America.
My aunt was here in Maryland, and she gave me one piece of advice. She was like, Walter, that's my name. Walter, listen to me carefully, right? Remember this one thing. In America, they look at credit for almost everything. Your apartment, your home, your car,
Your job.
Yeah. All these things look at your credit score. And that will determine how people see you because it defines, can you pay back what you've borrowed?
Mm-hmm.
What kind of person are you? So what did I do? First thing I did, I went to Barnes & Nobles. I got a book called Your Credit Score. I forgot the writer, but it's a green book with a white in the middle. And I read a book from start to finish. And I had a 0 score when I first came to America. In less than 8 months,
Dirty foreigner.
it was already close to 700.
Oh, nice.
And then from there, you guys saw my score on the last episode, 850. I had a perfect score.
Dude, that's
So
insane. Yeah.
I'm just saying, like, guys, credit. Look, for example, our Range Rover, right? Our apartments, like, almost things you see is credit. I mean, obviously, we pay it back in full each month, but it's because guess what? The credit score, it could be your life. Literally, you don't have to have all the money, but you should have the score at least. So very important.
Yeah, guys.
Roger.
Yeah, go ahead, Roger.
No, you're 100% correct. Because if you have a credit score, even if you don't have that much money, I mean, you've done it where you didn't have that much money.
Property.
Because of your credit, you were still able to get a property that ended up being a terrific deal for you.
Actually, yeah. Yo, funny point. So real talk, man. Working a regular job, right? I'm doing customer service and $15 an hour. But I was able to leverage my credit score and my 2 years at my job to get a property that was cash flowing for me from the very start.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm making my salary, doing overtime, and I'm getting cash flow from this property, and I don't have a lot of money at all. So imagine that you can be working a job right now, get a property that can pay you cash flow. Let's say you're making like what, $50K a year. You can get an extra $2,000 or more added to your income, and you do 2,000 by 12. That's $24,000 extra a year.
Yeah,
with just credit. That's a win to me.
Yeah, that's a nice way to give yourself a raise.
Yeah.
No, absolutely, man. And guys, I mean, credit is imperative, man. I mean, even if you're not making like that crazy money, just pay your bills on time and keep the biggest things are on time payments and then debt ratio. So as long as you can maintain, man, like below 30%, that's going to dramatically increase your credit. And here's the other thing too, guys. Once you get over 50%, that's when the credit card companies start getting a little shaky. Like, okay, there's a chance of default here. And that's when your car starts getting declined. That's when things don't go through. That's when, all the buffoonery begins. So you really want to at least pay your bills on time and maintain 30% or less on your credit limit, man. And then the other trick too is have more lines of credit so you have more available credit to you guys, right? And use different cards, mix and match, whatever it may be. And then get cards that have perks, man, that give you cash back. Like, I don't know why people use cash or use
debit cards.
That is one of the man, like, bro.
That was me.
Man, dude, guys, please and we're gonna do a full episode on credit as well. Don't worry, guys.
Yeah.
Like how we built it up and how we finesse with certain credit cards. But please get some kind of credit card that gives you some kind of benefit. If you are an idiot and you don't know anything else, get at least a cashback card. At least, please get a cashback card at bare minimum. You don't have to go ahead and get a Amex Platinum and Flex and all this extra stuff or a Chase Sapphire. You don't got to do all that. But just get at least a cashback card so you get something for using a card that you're otherwise going to use regardless. It is throwing money out the window to pay in cash or with a debit card, guys. Okay? Just exercise financial responsibility and don't spend more than you make. Okay, it's very simple. Like, the reason why people are in debt and don't have money or they're living paycheck to paycheck or whatever it is because they spend. Well, typically they have earning problem, but also they spend more than they make, guys. Okay,
Facts, yep.
You need to live below your means significantly. You guys see me here, right? We're in this apartment. Oh, nice, it's a penthouse, all this extra stuff. Guys, I wear the same clothes every day. All right, I'm a bum.
Every day.
Like, maybe
Steve Jobs.
3 pairs of jeans,
same shoes,
these Adidas shorts. You guys see me jumping around in these things all the time. So maybe some Gymshark shorts here and stuff. I got like 90% of my clothes are workout clothes, guys. You know what I'm saying? I have a few nice things, but for the most part, I'm a hardcore minimalist, man.
Yeah.
And we're going to talk about that in the next part when we're talking about saving money. But guys, get your credit on point. Shout out to the sponsor of this episode, by the way.
IdentityIQ.
Let's pull their stuff up real quick, guys, because
actually,
guys,
I gotta tell you a story, man.
Yeah, go ahead.
So basically,
We're
right,
going down memory lane or something?
Yeah, memory lane.
Okay. Can you pull it up, Chris, real quick?
So
use our code, guys, and get in there and start monitoring your credit, man. I use it to monitor mine.
Yep.
If you and this is how it begins, right? You want to start building your credit up, monitor it because it's going to keep your ass accountable, bro. Like it's going to make you say, okay, I need to get my credit. Oh, okay, I have debt over here. I have debt over here. You can literally see what's going on. You could track your credit score. And honestly, it's kind of like a game. You're like, oh, I paid this bill off. And then you're going to notice your credit score goes up by 10, 15 points, 20 points, depending on how much debt you have, whatever it is. You open another credit line and get more credit, and then you're using a smaller percentage of your overall credit. Then you increase your credit score like that. And it's kind of fun to see it go up, guys. You need to get bare minimum, man. What, 750, 760? Get
minimum
720.
720
minimum. But if you want to get into the good and excellent range where you're always going to get approved, guys, break 760. Sorry, Fresh. You guys.
No. So basically, I'm saying this was a year ago, right? Before I bought a property, right? So at this point, man, working on my credit score.
Mhm.
It's literally almost perfect, right? It's at the point where I've worked at least, I want to say, 3 years on this credit score from 0 to where it is right now, right? So I've worked on it. I've been checking it, but obviously, I'm working overtime now, trying to get money for property. I'm saving up, so I'm not focusing on my credit score that much, right? So it was New Year's, man, right? I'll never forget. 50 Cent had a party. We showed up, went to the party, and it was a great time, whatever. Come back to the house, right? I didn't drive that night. My door is unlocked on the car, and I had my whole sleeve of my documents there in the morning to go to the bank to deal with the property, whatever, and it was missing.
Wow.
So someone broke into my car and took my documents. I had my social, everything in there, right? So I didn't really realize until maybe the next day, but when I got an alert from the credit monitoring service saying, hey, we just saw an unusual charge, at this spot. And then when I look, in the next couple of days, my credit score was down. So if I didn't see it right there and then I went to go get a property, I would have had 1, a lower score, and 2, credit that I'd even use.
Yeah.
So having the monitoring service that told me, hey, this is wrong with your account, saved me a lot of time, headache, and I could lose the property.
No.
So
true.
very important, guys. You need to know your credit score at all times. This is why IdentityIQ, man, is so powerful, because guess what? You might not even know what's happening to your card or to your score. And then you go make a purchase or get a new item, you can't get it.
Yeah.
And you're like,
especially when you're buying assets, bro. They run hard credit checks on you, bro.
Yeah.
They're going to see everything.
Yeah.
When they're trying to get a home loan and everything, which we're going to talk about here in a second, they're going to run hard checks, guys. And when they run the hard checks, they're going to see everything, which, dings your credit a little bit. Yeah. We're going to talk about how to shop rates and everything else like that here on this episode as well. Don't worry about that.
Yep.
But guys, get in there. It's only $1. Monitor your credit. See where you stand.
Yep.
See if you even qualify, right? And then from there, build your credit up and then get prepared to get into your first deal. Because the thing is, too, also, guys, why you want to monitor your credit is because if your credit score sucks, guess what's going to happen? You're not going to get a good interest rate.
Nope.
And you're going to lose thousands upon thousands of dollars on a 30-year mortgage, which is how most of you guys are going to be able to leverage and get a property.
And you know what was the worst part? Some of you don't even know your score. So it's like, what are you really doing?
Stupid.
At what point do you know how you can get a property or even get an apartment? So I'm just saying, man, credit fraud is real out there too. You need to protect yourself. They have $1 million policy for any credits that, issues that come up.
Facts.
That's powerful, man.
Especially in today's day and age, guys. People are stealing identities left and right. The new crime, I'm telling you guys this right now, the new crime is scamming.
Yeah, scamming, bro.
These dudes are not trapping like that no more, bro. That's like, man, I do a lot of time for selling crack and coke. I'm just gonna scam credit cards now.
Some of the new scams get credit card, use the miles to get flights for other people.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Best Buy credit card. Man, it's crazy, man.
Well, they're going to podcast. She admitted to scamming too. So
yeah, guys, be careful, man. You should know your score at all times.
Fraud is the fastest growing crime in the United States right now, guys. It is the fastest growing crime. It's like one of those crimes that has the most, that's getting the most arrests now.
Yeah.
So guys, it starts with credit cards. Monitor it, protect yourself, because this is critical. The whole foundation of what we're going to teach you right now relies upon your credit. There's a reason why we're beating this down. It's not just to tell you, hey, sign up for IdentityIQ. No. Well, I don't even give a fuck if you guys sign up for there.
Yeah.
Get your credit on point.
Facts.
IdentityIQ is going to be critical to helping you monitor it so that you can improve your credit score, so you can exercise financial discipline. But you don't necessarily. But you need to get the credit on point. That's the main thing, guys.
And then last thing, this studio, the Range Rover, the properties,
Yeah.
everything was done on credit. Guys, funny story. All our money's still in the bank. Once again, all our money is still in the bank. This is credit. Remember that. So just very important.
Yeah. And we paid it off. Like the studio's paid off, by the way. I know some haters, y'all went into crazy debt.
Nope.
No, we purchased everything on credit cards, but
Paid off.
we paid it off every month. And I made a couple thousand last year off of points, guys, because I use a cashback card to do it.
And
which
travel
we'll
too.
talk about which cards that I use on the credit card episode. Because I got a whole repertoire of credit cards that I use for certain situations.
Man, guys, like the video. That was some fire game right there, man.
Yes, sir.
Fire game, man, for free.
Roger, anything before we get into the next one?
No,
Step two?
no. What you were saying, 100%. Credit is extremely important, and starting off is important. But as you go up in size of property and income, I mean, the amount of money that the banks will lend you is no longer in proportion to your. It could be something like, hey, you know, what I mean, you've got a few million in the bank, and they'll give you 100 mil to go buy something. So yeah, you guys are right. Cannot stress the importance of credit.
Yeah,
cool.
You know, and that's just one component, but it is one of the most critical components is your credit score. Okay, so just a quick recap. Step 0. Figure out your goal. How much money do you need for your real estate goal? I told you guys already, my short-term goal is 10K a month. Then after that, 20K a month. And then we'll see from there what I want to do. But that's pretty good.
And then
passively, we're still going to be doing a podcast.
What's your long-term play as well? Like, is it to get cash flow? Is it to get a home? Is it to Airbnb? Find out what it is first.
Yep. So for purposes of this show, we're going to show you guys cash flow. Step 1 was get good credit. Now we're going to go into, see, I'm so excited for this episode.
We have some chats afterwards.
Step 2. Super chats. Okay. Super chat.
So Fannie Lewis says, will student loans affect my ability to invest in real estate? I have a great credit score because I paid the 304 Sally Mae on time every month. First super chat ever.
It might play into your debt ratio.
It will, bro.
Yeah.
This wasn't before.
It definitely will.
Okay. That was before. Okay. Buy one BBL, get one free. I live in Long Island, but thinking of getting a rental property far away in another state. Any tips for long distance rentals? We'll cover that. Don't worry. Excellent question. Orlando Minor, $10 is a real estate channel. Myself, I know it can be hard to get people interested in real estate. Glad you guys are doing a show on it. Thank you so much.
It's slept on.
Scott McAllister, $30. Do you guys think a RV campground would be worth opening in the Miami area? I own 2 already.
I'm not gonna lie. There are some minimalists here and some hippies, but
I don't think it'll fly here, bro. The city's too luxurious for that.
There is something with containers happening though. Have you seen that?
Yeah, no, that's big actually.
Yeah, containers now. That's a whole different ball game.
Manny Barrios, you are the truth. The Dave Chappelle's a podcast. Yeah, you can't handle the truth. Keep it coming. Thank you so much. And then, guys, we need to make these videos just as big as in late night shows. These videos are crucial. Absolutely.
Yeah, man. Very.
All right,
Miami.
thank you so much. So, okay, guys. So moving on to step number 2.
Save money.
Guys, you need to save money. Like, I'm going to say that one more time. I don't give a shit if you need to literally cook your own food for months on end, not eat out, not go to the club, not go out and chase after girls, not spend money on stupid conveniences like Uber Eats or whatever. I don't care. You're going to take 1 to 2 years to save up money, okay? Now I know, you could get a loan, like you could do no cash into a deal, blah, 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 all this. Man, bro, you need to have money. Anybody that's telling you this like stuff about, no, you could get a house with no money, no credit, blah, 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 all that other stuff, cap. Like, seriously?
Stop the cap.
You need capital to be able to get into this. Roger, what's your take on this?
I mean, you technically can acquire properties without any money down. That stuff is technically true. However, your best deals are going to be either through financing or all cash. In other words, your best situation is going to be with money.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, with equity.
Yeah, you're gonna need money, guys. Yes, is it possible to get a property with no money? Absolutely. But just like those delusional girls that we bring on this show, we operate on probabilities and not possibilities. I'm going to say that again. We operate on probabilities, so not possibilities. To get the best deal, you're going to need cash, guys, okay? And honestly, you should be making that money and saving it excited because guess what? Fiat currency is going to go down, guys. We're printing money like crazy.
Mm-hmm.
It's been going down.
Yeah, the inflation rate is 2% at this point right now. Yeah. But guys, it's going to go worse because literally in December, we printed like almost over 50% of the money in circulation right now in the United States was printed last year.
Facts.
Guys, like you need to take your money and put it into something that's going to appreciate over time. And real estate is probably one of the safest and best ways to put your money into something that's going to appreciate over time. You're not going to get returns like this on the fucking stock market, okay? And crypto's excellent too, but it's volatile, bro. It's extremely volatile. You can't take crazy risk with crypto. I mean, at least I wouldn't. You know what I'm saying? So real estate is one of the safest, best ways to put money in. It's made more millionaires than anyone else. It is a tried and true methodology. But to get in, you need to save money, guys. I'm repeating myself like a broken record because I need you guys to understand the importance of saving money and being financially literate. Don't sit here and trick on girls, go on trips, do all this extra stupid stuff. Save the money first, get that passive income, then you can go ahead and do all the stupid stuff, man. What's your guys' take on this?
So I'll say this, right, man? So obviously some of you guys are beginners, like definitely how I was, working a job. You're like, damn, I can't ever like save money because I got bills. This is tough. But I'll tell you this, right? So here's what I did. I decided I'm not going out partying. I'm not drinking alcohol. I'm not going on vacations. For a year and a half, I'm going to sit here at work and do overtime. Hopefully your job allows you to do overtime. If not, you need a side hustle. At that point, what I did was I made a conscious choice. I wake up at 6 every morning, go to work 2 hours ahead. I start at like 8:39. From there, I would work those 8 hours regularly, then stay another 2-3 hours.
Nice.
So every week, I was putting in at least like an extra 4 hours of overtime at my job. Then on weekends, we had OT on Saturday. So I wouldn't go out, I would work. And what happened was, in that year, I was able to save up $20K.
Nice.
And my salary was only, guess what? $35K. So imagine that. I worked my regular job and the overtime. So that saving allowed me to then invest in property.
This nigga fresh was poor, 30K?
Yeah, bro. Terrible, bro. Chick-fil-A and AT&T. I was making $7 an hour. I'm just saying that to say, man, like, if you really want it, you can have it. But you got to put in the work. You got to make sacrifices. And guess what? You may have to lose out on getting girls. You know what I'm saying? Going out having fun. But guess what? Now I have a cash flowing asset that makes me money every single month. I just go pick up some rent. Hey, man, you know what? All my bills are paid for with this money here. And the rest of the money, I can splurge if I want to. Go have fun with it. But my bills are paid. But guess what? At the beginning, sacrifice was important. I couldn't go out and party. I couldn't get girls, whatever, all that shit. Save my money. With the overtime, like you said before, if you have money, you have options. Without money, you don't have options. So
yeah, man,
yeah, definitely.
Your goal, guys, is to get your money from your job, your earned income. Okay, you take that earned income from your blood, sweat, and tears, and then you dump it into things that are gonna make you money back, assets. Okay, then the money that you make from that asset, okay, let that pay for your liabilities, your rent or your living expenses, whatever it is, right? Then you continue to do that until you get to a point where your cash flow now pays for all your living expenses. Now you can go ahead and start buying the cars, the jewelry, whatever it is, because you're not spending your earned income on liabilities. That's what normal people do. They spend their earned income on liabilities. No. You take your earned income and you throw it into assets so that you can leave. Shout out to Robert Kiyosaki, man. You got to get out the rat race. To get out the rat race, you have to buy assets that pay you money back.
Have to.
Okay? Or you can work till you die. What do you want to do?
You got a choice to make.
What do you want to do? So save your money. Now, you have two routes to go from here, guys, okay? When you save your money, you can either go ahead and do a FHA loan, okay, which is backed by the federal government if you live in the United States, or you can go the investor route and put 20 to 25% down.
Yeah.
Now, I guess we'll talk about house hacking first, and we'll talk about the 20 to 25% down. We'll break down both options for you, okay? FHA, you've done one before, Fresh. You want to break it down for them?
Yeah. So, like I said earlier,
and Roger, please chime in as needed.
When I first started my real estate venture, I looked at online on YouTube like how to invest in real estate. I found Graham Stephan, I found Grant Cardone, a bunch of people that talked about, Ben Mala, about real estate. And I heard about house hacking, which just basically means like you buy a property, your first time home buyers down payment is 3%. You live in a property,
3 to 5%, guys.
Yeah, and you get that that percentage because you're living in a property. So by you living in property, you get a discount, and you get to live in it on that percentage. Now that being said, you have to save up for that amount to obviously put down on the house, but it's way cheaper than 20%. So what I did was I went with my boy Nick, looked at some properties off market. I saw a 3-unit complex, 3-unit property. I saw that one was vacant. I could live in one and rent out the other 2, and those other 2 units pay for the mortgage. So basically, I'm living for free. As in 1 unit, they're paying the mortgage and the light and the water. So literally, I had no bills. So that whole time I was working on my job, I was saving all the money from my job because I wasn't paying rent. So before I was paying $1,200 in rent.
And for most people, their living expense, their rent or their mortgage is their most expensive bill.
Now check this, right? I gave myself another raise because I'm not paying rent now. So $1,200 by 12 plus I'm working overtime and my salary, I've added another $15,000 basically to my salary.
No, absolutely.
But not paying rent. So now what's happening is I'm paying off on my debt. I'm not having fun traveling because guess what? I got money now. Now at this point, obviously you want to save, of course, to put towards another property or invest. But obviously I was having a little bit of fun. The point was that I had access to money because now I was not paying rent. And that's part about house hacking. Multiple units, multiple doors, your tenants can pay on your property for you, and you're building equity as well in the property. So it's win-win on both sides. Obviously, find a property that's actually cash flowing, of course, but that's how you do it.
No, yeah, absolutely. And I know it sounds elementary to you guys, but the concept of living off your assets instead of living off of the work that living off of the salary, believe it or not, it's something that a lot of people have a hard time understanding because most people are conditioned to go to college.
Yeah.
And let's be honest, most people go to college. If they don't have debt on the front end, they end up with debt on the back end because you go to college. I don't know if you guys ever seen this where you go outside and there's like 10 tables and they're like, oh, sign up for this credit card and you're 18, 19 or what, So now you've signed up, you're already in debt, and now you're thinking, well, I only have a certain amount of time. I have to get a job, start paying this. And it's like they try to get you on that
they're trying to get you into the rat race. They prepare you for it. They teach you how to be a better employee.
Yeah, 100%. And that's where a lot of people find challenging. But what I tell the people, especially young people, is if you're going to get credit, do it with a plan. Do it with the plan that, like you said, you're going to use it to pay expenses that you were paying for anyway, and you're going to pay it off like that month. Don't wait. Don't hold the balance. Just like you guys were saying, pay it off right away. Build up your credit. And once you start working... And see that, it's honest. It's the 9 to 5 because then when you start working, you got to get dressed up for work, and now you got to go out to lunch, and then and if you're one of the people that's packing the food, bringing it to, I don't know if you were doing that at your job. Some of your other employees kind of look at you funny, but you got to be like these guys and don't let that sweat you.
Yeah.
Any way that you can save money to build up your credit, acquire something, because the goal should be, like you said, you want a nice car. Think of it this way. Nice car, you should be asking yourself, how many rental units would I take to pay for that car? That trip to Europe, how many rental units would that take? And that's why I was saying it's important to kind of just have that goal in mind, because I think as human beings, it's hard to just say, well, take your income, turn it into passive income. You kind of have that carrot in front of you where you say, well, this is why I'm not getting that pair of Yeezys this weekend. This is why I'm not hanging out at the club because I have something to focus on. So I think that's extremely important as well.
And let me add one more point here as well. So a lot of people say, oh, I don't want a house hack because I don't want to live with other tenants. Bro, I am dumbfounded at how many Americans live in this state, right? I have this much capital and success they can achieve by just living below their means for a little bit. And here's the thing, right? Like, it's not forever. You have no kids. You have low debt. You have no responsibilities. You can live in a unit by yourself and make bank for a year or two.
Yeah.
It's not going to kill you. But that stepping stone and that board can go way beyond because now you own a property and it's cash flowing. And then guess what? When you move out after that year, you're making extra money now.
And real quick for the people, the guys, cash flowing means after expenses are paid, you have a profit from your unit, your property. You know what I'm saying? And real quick too, we got dollar cost crypto in the house, by the way, the big $100 super chat.
That's you, man.
If you want to get into your crypto investments, go ahead and hit up Charlie and the squad over there.
There you go.
Okay. Did we anything else, Chris?
No. Yeah.
Okay. But yeah, college teaches you guys how to be a better employee, man. So just understand that you need to save money. Guys, when I was living in Texas, I literally lived in like a trap house. I had a couch, a TV, one coffee table, and I had my bed on the freaking floor, mattress on the ground. It was like a drug house. It was a trap house. But I didn't care because I was saving money. I was doing what I needed to do.
Yeah.
And that's what you got to suffer a bit, guys. Upfront pain typically leads to back-end pleasure, but upfront pleasure almost always leads to back-end pain. And you know what happens? That is probably going to lead to pain that's more long-lasting. Okay, guys?
Yeah.
It's always better to suffer on the front end because that's temporary. The pleasure that comes after that temporary pain typically is longer lasting, but that pleasure up front is definitely short-term, and then that pain on the back end from what you did in the stupidity is long-term.
Yep. Okay,
guys? Just like we talk about here, when we bring these chicks on and they make bad decisions in their 20s when they're young and beautiful and everything else like that, that leads to back-end pain on the later on in life. That also applies to your finances and not taking investing seriously, guys. So go ahead and save that money. So we talked about the FHA route, right? So 3 to 5%. So let's say you guys want to get a home for $100,000, right? Mm-hmm. You go ahead, you apply for an FHA loan. You got to put down what? 3.5%, right? $3,500.
Yeah.
Boom. Pay $3,500. Let's say it's a duplex, right? You get into one unit, you rent out the other. Have that guy at least pay the your half. So let's say mortgage is $2,000 a month, right? Which would be kind of expensive for $100,000.
I would say
$1,000 a month. Simple math, right? So scenario one, $100,000 home. You do a FHA loan. You get into that. You get in with only 3.5% down. You get in at $3,500, right? Then rent is $1,000 a month. Again, guys, I know this is like a bizarre world, but this is just for easy math because we're not the mathematicians at this table, right? Mm-hmm. Then you charge your tenant $1,200.
Oh, there you go.
Let's say you charge them $1,200 for rent. He pays the mortgage, and you pocket $200. You have a positive cash flow of $200, and now you have all your bills and expenses paid for. And on top of that,
cash flowing.
It's cash flowing, and you're getting equity in the home because he's paying down your mortgage for you. So Absolutely. Now you're starting to own a larger and larger stake of the home that you purchased. It's a win-win. And on top of that, it appreciates, guys. Because remember, real estate property appreciates over time, unlike cash. Okay? Say that again. Real estate property, on a balance of probabilities, even if it dips for a little bit, it almost always appreciates better than cash. So it's a double whammy because you bought it at $100,000. Okay? You only put down $3,500 to get in that thing. The guy's paying you $1,200. You're making $200 a month, and he's paying down your mortgage while the house is simultaneously increasing in value. Guys, see what's happening here? You're winning on different avenues. Sorry, Fresh. Go ahead.
No. I just want to add one point. This is one caveat here, guys. You can't cash flow if you're in debt. So let me explain. If you got credit card debt, if you got student loans, you're cash flowing. Guess where that's going? Nowhere. Because if you have debt, guys, none of this really matters. So your point should be to become debt free, so that when you do these steps, the money is going straight to you. Because if you owe Uncle Sam, if you owe the government, if you owe credit card companies, if you owe a loan shark loan, guys, the money should be going to debt because you don't have any money. So just number one thing, guys, this technique, these strategies, you should be debt free because at that point you're actually making money. If you're -0 and you get money, it doesn't make any sense. So make sure when you use that techniques, it makes sense. And having debt does not count as cash flow. Cool. All right. So we're back.
Okay. So we're gonna go on to number 3.
Number 3.
We have some chats if you want to read it.
Okay. Cool. We'll hit the super chats, then we'll go into number 3. $20 from SoundCloud Mobile. How do you use precious metals to buy property? I heard if you do it right, you don't have to save taxes on your land. I've never done that. I just got into the precious metal game, guys. I just bought silver, which I will talk to you guys about how I purchased the silver and everything. We'll do an episode on precious metals as well. Yeah. But Zentian, $20. Tips on Texas real estate market. Looking to get into specifics, have land debt-free, more than excellent credit, etc. Lawyer or another party. I've never bought property in Texas, but Texas is a good market to buy because the property in Texas is dirt cheap and Texas is going up. Guys, my estimations, 3 hot states right now. Florida, for sure. It's booming over here.
Definitely.
It might not. It's a seller's market at this point, really. And then Texas and Nevada. Guys, keep your eye on Nevada because all these LA people are getting the hell out of California. And, and Nevada has no state income taxes, and it's cheap as hell to live there. Basherman, $20. My student loans are still on forbearance. Should I spend less towards the principal as inflation hits? I hear inflation is good when you have debt because the $10K you owe is worth less after inflation. That's a good question, man. We talked about student loans with Ben Mankevo.
Yeah. So
check out that episode because that's a whole other topic, my friend.
So honestly, man, you could do 2 things here. You can let it ride and just have someone erase it. But my friend, if you do that though, it's kind of like you're just like giving up. Your best bet is to just pay it off.
Yeah, I was gonna say that because I hope everyone understands that student loans are the one type of debt
that never goes away. You
cannot discharge even in bankruptcy.
Yeah, it never goes away.
So
your best bet to just pay it off, bro.
Yeah. You ain't gonna. Yeah, you're gonna die with that joint, man.
Pay it off.
Pay student loan debt, man. Get rid of that. Press F to eat. Gotcha. Hey guys, saw you on Joker's channel. Question: I have my first home. It's appreciated $50K in the last 3 years. Excellent. My credit score is 770 plus. Awesome. How do I turn my first house into passive income, or is the goal to just buy and flip? Get the hell out of that house, okay, and rent it out or Airbnb it, and go ahead and rent so that you have your freedom and you can leave. Personally, guys, you guys can disagree with me. My belief is I agree with Grant Cardone on this. As much as people want to make fun of me, whatever it is, I think owning a single family home is foolish.
Stupid.
Unless, it's stupid. Unless the only way I would see it as needed to have a one family home is if you have children and you want to get into a good school district.
Yeah.
That's the only time I see having a single family home as like a possibility. But if you're a single guy or you just got a girlfriend or whatever and you don't have children, bruh, what do you need a backyard for, man?
Dude,
Real talk.
You need to be
walk your dog, nigga.
You need to be mobile, man. If you're young, you might need to move to Texas, California. The point is you want to be flexible and be able to move. If you're in a home, bro, you're kind of stuck unless you rent it out. My thing is though, why buy a home for units and make money? Like why not make money?
Yeah, facts.
What do you think, Roger?
I'm gonna have to disagree a little bit.
Sure. Okay.
And could you pull up that super chat back? Because I actually wanted to answer him. Real quick, I answer him real quick. And this is what I was talking about before the show when you gotta, because he's basically asking us for what his goal should be. And this is something that
I'm saying he rent. I think he should rent the house out.
No, I'm saying he needs to figure out what it is that he's trying to accomplish. Number one, like that's not you got to kind of decide that. And as far as what to do, it's really gonna depend on what market you're in, the data and the numbers. Like I don't know anything about the guy's market, so I can't tell him what to do. It might not be a great market for Airbnb.
That's true.
You know what I mean?
True.
I don't have.
He might live in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. So I definitely can't just one size does not fit all, and you definitely need to get information. But for that gentleman, I would say number one, you need to figure out what it is that you're trying to accomplish. Do you have a specific goal? Are you trying to pay off debt? Are you trying to acquire something else? And then if he sells it, you also have to do the cost benefit analysis.
Yeah.
Can you rent it out for more than it's going to cost for you to live somewhere else?
Yeah, exactly. So we needed quite a bit more information.
Yeah.
But just at face value, like I'm not a fan of living in like owning a single family home unless you have a family and you're trying to stay in a good school district and you're trying to have a stable home. If you're a single man in a single family house,
we're speaking generally here, of course.
Yeah.
But the definite rule I would say where just to be safe is not to do that. But it depends on your area, of course.
It depends. Yeah, it depends on your area. Everything else.
Now here's the thing, gents. I hear what you're saying, but and that's why I like to refer to numbers and data, right? Because generally speaking, when you're renting, and for the most part, you can make the argument that when you're renting, your rent, even though people are like, well, you can own for the price of renting, that's not 100% true. No, you're usually going to spend more money than when you own a home versus you're renting. But then the question becomes, when you're renting, like you guys are doing it, but unfortunately, most people are not going to do this. The difference in the money they save from renting, they're going to blow. They're going to blow. They're not 99% of America, the money that they're going to blow. And for most people, most of the wealth that they accumulate is actually in their homes. And homes generally do appreciate 3 to 5%. And what ends up happening is if you're renting for more than, I'd say, 3 to 5 years, after that time period, if you had been in a home, and let's say you've been in a home for 10 years versus renting, what's going to end up happening most of the time is that when you sell that house, you're going to get all the money that you put into it, and usually with the profit. So either you're going to basically be, it's like you were renting for free, or you make a profit. And if you keep the home long term, I mean, I know of one case that they bought the house 6 years ago. And when they sold it, it gained, I want to say, like almost $600,000 in like 6 years. Like they were basically getting paid $100,000 a year to live in that house. So
nice. I mean, it depends on you, but like having a home and being by yourself as a single person, it could, like you could do other things. You can travel, you could do other things, but it depends on the preference. But obviously, it depends on the person and their lifestyle, their market. There's a bunch of factors, guys. So
choose the best scenario for you.
Choose the best scenario for you. As you guys can see, but there's different opinions here, which is great. Okay.
Trey's Heartmonder, $20.
Okay.
You talk about how to rent out. Wait,
properties, finding good renters and how to advertise for your vacant property online. Don't worry, we're going to talk about that.
Facebook.
Okay. So, all right. So we're caught up.
No.
Okay. Guys, if you don't know what to do, get your CDL hazmat. Took 2 months. I'm back on track to make over $90K this year. I will pay off my debt this year and buy a duplex next year. I get to listen to podcasts all day to make bank. Absolutely.
There you go.
Nice.
All right, cool. All right. So step 3, guys, is
round 3.
So you've saved your money. Oh, no. We didn't talk about putting down the larger payment if you're going to be an investor.
Oh, yeah.
So, okay. So you got we went through the scenario with the FHA loan where you're only putting down 3.5%. Then you have the other situation where you're an investor. Most banks now, you're gonna have to put down thanks to the beer bug and the market and everything else like that. You're gonna have to put somewhere between 20 to 25% down on a house. Which, let's say it's $100,000, you're gonna have to put down 25 grand to be able to get it as an investor, or 20 grand. I mean, Roger, have you seen? I've seen 25% for banks, but is that
someone I'm working with that he had to put down 30.
Okay, so 25 seems to be the average right now.
20, yeah, for most people, yeah, between 20 and 20. Well, honestly, I haven't seen 20 in a bit, so 25%.
Yeah, and you guys can thank the CV19 for that one.
Sheesh.
Yeah.
But yeah, 25%, guys, if you want to get in as an investor. Now, what are the perks of this? Well, the perks are obviously you get a lot more equity in the home right away, right? Number 2, you're able to avoid PMI, or private mortgage insurance.
Yep.
Right, which that's basically throwing money out the window when you do PMI. And that pretty much happens anytime you buy a home with less than 20% down, guys, which kind of sucks about FHA. You got to pay something called PMI, which can easily add another $100 to $200, depending on how big the property is, whatever, to your monthly bill. You know what I'm saying? And you don't get that money back. It's kind of like an HOA. It's a waste. It's a waste.
So let me explain what PMI is.
Yeah,
PMI is private mortgage insurance. All it is is that if something were to happen to you or you can't pay on the mortgage, there's an insurance policy that makes sure the bank gets their money. So
yeah. Exactly.
So that doesn't really help you. You
guys could thank the 2008 home crash for that one.
But hold on, crash. Let me just defend FHA a little bit. You can refinance later on and get it taken out.
No, absolutely. Yeah. Well, see, that's once you have a certain amount of equity in the home.
Yeah.
Which you could just accomplish, like you said, by just putting a bigger
but
down payment.
Most people don't have the money up front.
No, you're correct.
So they have to do it that way.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you're gonna get in, if you have the capital, guys, personally, if you don't have money up front, if you don't have a money, because here's the thing, you guys could do that house hacking thing multiple times and just do it. The only thing with the FHA loan that sucks, you got to stay in there for a year, guys.
Yeah, you could, but you could do it 4 times before you can do it no more.
Okay, all right. So yeah, so you could do it 4 times, get 3, duplexes, triplexes, whatever it is. Which obviously, if you're gonna house hack, that's I think the best way to do it, because you're gonna have another tenant or 2. The more doors, the better, especially if you're gonna do the house hacking method, because then you have more doors that can pay you money. And on top of that, if one person's low or one person doesn't have rent or anything, at least you have someone else that could either pay a portion. So if you have to come out of pocket, because tenants do, there are situations where they won't have the money on time or whatever it is, which is a pain. But the more doors, the less you can kind of spread that annoyance. So with 20 nowadays, guys, you're gonna have to put 25% down a lot of the times. Now, is there a situation where you've seen guys putting 20% down in this market, Roger, or no?
I haven't worked with any. Oh, that's not true. There is someone that I am working with that he has the option of doing that, but he prefers to put 25% down.
Okay. Why was he? If you could tell us, is it because he has like crazy credit or something like that? Or he's done a lot of.
Well, not just crazy credit, and he's also been investing for years. So,
and he's a W-2 employee too, right? Isn't he?
Yeah, he has a very high income and he's a W-2 employee. Correct.
Okay. So, and we're gonna talk about that. Actually, perfect transition over to the next one here, guys. So step 3, guys, is have proof of income. All right.
Yep.
So you've established what your goal is. You want to make 10K a month, right? Then that's number 1. And then step 1 is get good credit. Then step 2 is save the money, whether it's a small down payment of 3.5 with FHA or investment at 20 to 25% down. Now you have to start getting things ready for the bank. You're going to need proof of income, guys.
Yep.
Man, they're going to ask you for so many documents, guys.
Tax returns,
W-2s, all that stuff.
Bank statements.
Now, what they're mostly going to ask for, guys, typically, now, if you're a W-2 employee, they're going to typically just want your tax returns. And then 6 months of bank statements, right? Because you have you have a job, you're employed, you're more of a safer, because, guys, you got to remember, the bank looks at you as like, okay, can this guy pay us back? If you have a regular job, a government job, a state job, whatever it is, you're going to be more likely to be able to pay because you have a stable income, you have a fixed job, right? And if it's like predictable income, excellent. That's what the banks want, right? That's what they're predicting. But if you're an entrepreneur, that's where things can get sticky. And actually, I could talk to you guys a little bit about how I messed up on this. But yeah, 6 months of bank statements, W-2. If you're an entrepreneur, they're going to want pay profit loss statements. What else? Am I missing anything?
Yeah, they're gonna want to know what your housing expenses are. Definitely.
Oh yeah. They're gonna want your recurring bills. So like they're gonna want how much you pay for rent. They're gonna want to see car payments, all this other stuff. And
if you got a previous mortgage,
if you have a previous mortgage, all that's gonna come into play, guys.
Your debt, where your current debt to income ratio is, all that stuff.
Yep. And if it doesn't look good, they're not gonna give you the loan. Because you guys got to remember that the banks, they're weighing risk here. by lending you money. So if you look like you can't pay them back or you don't have a stable income, they're not going to give it to you. Even if you have a lot of money in the bank, but you don't have an income, it's still going to mess you up to some degree.
Yeah.
You know, so that's why I say get your credit on point, have some cash, and have some kind of stable income, whether it's a W-2 job or you're an entrepreneur and you've been able to be stable. Now, anything before I tell my story of how I messed up?
Yeah. So with income and tax returns. Now, I know none of the chat members of the Fresh and Fit podcast would ever tell the IRS they make way less on their tax returns than they actually do. But just for the guys out there, I just want you to understand that it's important for you to report all your income because in regards to credit, because the more you can show, the more you qualify for.
Yep.
And yeah, guys. So I know a lot of people are like, well, maybe, fudge a little bit here, a little bit there. It long-term, it benefits you. It's going to help you more to be able to show that you have more income.
Yeah. And here's the other thing too, because obviously some of you guys don't want to be liable for as many taxes. So you're going to write a bunch of things off. Guys, that will hurt you when you're trying to get, when you're trying to show your income, because they're going to go off of your net income. Okay.
Also known as AGI, adjusted gross income. AGI.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's what they're going to go off of. So if you make $100,000, but you write off 80 grand, guess what? They're going to tell you, oh, you only have $20,000 for this year, bruh. Like, you ain't got nothing. Okay. Yeah. So
I've heard some horror stories.
If you're trying to get into real estate, man, you're going to have to, you can't have it both ways. Okay. If you're going to get into real estate, you want to start buying some property, whatever, and you want to get the banks to look at you as a good person to lend the money to, you don't want to write off a million things because you need to show more income to show that you're a good candidate for them to lend you money, especially if you're an entrepreneur. Yeah. Guys, pro tip, do not do what I did.
Stupid.
Do not quit your W-2 job, okay, and go and try to buy a property, guys. Do not do it, especially if you have not been in business for at least 2 years with your LLC. I learned that the hard way, man. I left my job, right, late last year. It was a W-2 job. And I wanted to get a property in 2021. And I was like, all right, sweet, let's do this. And they're like, oh, well, your business only been incorporated for about a year or so. You're not a good person to lend this money to. And I had a hard time finding a lender. I went to all the major banks, Bank of America, Chase, whatever, TD. None of them wanted to give me a loan, guys, because I only had 1 year of like tax returns on my business. And it was way less because I had a regular job. So I wasn't obviously putting as much effort and making as much money from my businesses before. So whatever you do, if you want to quit your W-2 job or whatever, close on the property first, guys. Do not, and I mean do not, leave your stable job, no matter how much you hate it, until you close on your first property, at least so that you can get in, because you're going to have a seriously tough time getting into that property when you don't have proof of income that's stable if your business has not been incorporated for 2 years.
And yeah, let me just run through that because
sure, please.
I know you're like a seasoned investor now, so you're throwing out a lot of terms.
Yeah, I'm throwing out, please.
That people may not understand. So the buying process is going to be, like I said, you're going to go through the gathering all your information, getting pre-qualified or pre-approved for a loan. Then you're going to find the property. Thank you, Walter. You're going to make an offer. Then you're going to get in under contract. Getting in under contract does not mean closing. Mm-hmm. You'd be surprised how many people feel that because they got something on the contract, they can go out and buy a brand new Range Rover now.
Oh, no.
Then when you get close to closing, underwriting contacts you back and they're like, yo, your debt to
messed up, man.
Debt to income ratio is messed up. We can't give
we're going to talk about that in like step 5 though.
Yeah, no, I'm just letting them know. So yeah, closing is after everything is said and done. Yep. At that point, if you want to go get the nice car or whatever, okay, but not before then.
Yeah, guys. So grit your teeth. If you want to buy a real estate property and you hate your job and you're thinking about quitting and you're like, oh, I'm an entrepreneur, I got my job, blah blah blah, I got my business. Don't quit, guys. Keep your job. And just like Roger said, good point. Getting it under contract doesn't mean anything. So many things can go wrong, okay? So make sure that you do not quit your job, your W-2 job, until you close. Once you close, then you can go into your job and be like, hey, guys, I quit. You know what I'm saying? Like, fuck this shit, I'm out. Mm-mm. So, fuck this shit, I'm out. No thanks. So, yeah, guys. Okay. Anything else before we get into the next one?
No.
We have some chats to read it.
Okay, guys, we're gonna read these chats 20 and up. Okay.
Yep.
Can I still get into real estate if I have no credit but a bunch of money? No, you need good credit, my friend. They're gonna still.
Are you buying a house cash?
Yeah, unless you're gonna buy cash. Yeah.
Okay.
The Beast 2499. Hey, I'm 23. I'm getting out of the military soon. I just wanted to get some advice. If you had any of the transition, if any of you have had the Roger's former military.
Yeah.
Note that I will have benefits such as free school. I will get paid to go to school. That's a whole other topic, man. Just keep listening though, because we might answer that in part during this broadcast.
I will say one thing though. Most colleges have a VA representative, and if that college does, they should be able to point you to someone. I would say reach out to that person if one of the things you want to do is go to school, and they will help you out. Also, you could definitely reach out to the Veterans Administration. So I would start there. Also, if you're still in the service, I believe, I don't know what branch you are, but I know in the Army they have counselors that counsel you before you get out that could point you in the right direction as well.
Awesome. Okay, CLOs, $20. I make $60K with about $30K in stocks / crypto and $14K in a Roth IRA and a credit score of 802. I'm based in New York, but want to get into gaining passive income from duplexes. If I move, I lose my $60K job. Would love any advice. Keep listening, my friend. We're going to talk about that later on in the broadcast. Anything else?
Yeah, we got someone. I don't know if you want to read this one.
Disagree with you, Myron. Fresh bought a 3-bedroom house in Queens, New York for $490K in 2019 and looked up the value for this house, and now it's estimated to be worth $710K now. Also, if I marry, she can't take the house since I got it before. Hey, man, Venom, that's good for you, bro. But again, like I said, that's exception. I guess you were able to find a deal, man. But I mean, $490K, you could have taken that money and bought a couple of different properties in different areas and been making more money off of that. So
yeah,
$490K, you could have easily bought you could have bought a duplex, a triplex, like you could have made more money. Yeah, you appreciated $300K, but you could have bought multiple properties and gotten more doors and yeah, I mean, I'm not saying what you did was wrong.
The New York market is known for that, though. Like these properties, those brick and mortar properties, they just go up in value a lot. So I mean, it can happen, bro, but exception is not the rule.
Yeah, bro. Like if you could have taken that $490 and dumped it into other things, that would have made you more money instead of one 3-bedroom home. You know what I'm saying? Which you haven't been making money on. You've been paying a mortgage on it. You know what I'm saying? So okay. Anything else?
No, we good.
Okay, we're caught up. So step 4. So you have your documents ready to go, all that other stuff. Now it's time to go to the bank and get pre-qualified.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know I can't believe how many people actually start looking at houses without figuring out how much money, what they can actually buy, how much house they can afford. Guys, this is a crucial step, man. You need to get pre-qualified to some degree, get a letter, whatever it is. Roger, you want to talk on this?
Roger knows.
So me personally, I won't send anyone property. I'm not taking anyone out unless I can see pre-approval information, because it's just a waste of my time and your time for me to take you out. You see something you like, then you go back to the bank and the bank is like, no, you can't afford it.
Yeah,
this is not in your price. This is not in your price range. So what's the point of that?
They look at you like,
really, nigga?
And now you're talking about investment properties, like, as I'm sure you can attest, like I'm building relationships. So if I bring someone to the guy and I'm like, we were interested, and then when it comes time to put in an offer, like, or we do put an offer and then financing falls through, that looks bad on me. And that particular seller is probably not going to want to do business with me anymore, because he's like, yo, you wasted my time. You can't deliver. So yeah, guys, don't go out looking at properties until you know how much you can get from the bank, which will determine what price range you can, you could purchase. So yeah,
there you go. So that's step 4. Now, guys, that's just pretty easy. Get pre-qualified. Figure out what you can afford, guys. Okay, figure out what you can afford, and that's going to set you up for the next step, step 5. Get a real estate agent, man. Get a real estate agent, guys. Okay. A real estate agent is going to just save you so many headaches, man.
Yes.
They know the market. They're going to help you find the best thing, the best property. If you're trying to, especially if you want to invest, they're going to help you find deals. They're going to be another set of eyes that can look and work numbers with you. I can't tell you how many times I've been on hours I've spent talking to Roger where we're looking at houses. I might have not carried a one here and figured it out. Oh, this is a great deal. It's like, no, you messed up the math. Oh no, this is a horrible deal. Like having another set of eyes and having someone else looking through the market with you helps so much, because now you're pre-qualified. Now you know how much house you can afford, and you have a trained professional that knows the market that will help you find stuff. Roger, can you tell them about that? How imperative it is to have a real estate agent?
Now, yes, I 100% agree. However, I know some people would be like, I tried a real estate agent and they sucked.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, that is the reality.
That's
There are a
true.
lot of agents out there that don't really specialize in investment properties, and they'll try, they'll do their best, but the first step I would say, even before getting a real estate agent, is educate yourselves to at least to some degree, so that you can evaluate the real estate agent through talking, seeing what information they're giving you, so you could evaluate if the agent even knows what they're talking about. And then from there, the next thing I would say is you could either go off of referrals. There's a bunch of Facebook groups, a bunch of chats, a bunch of different ways you can get like investment friendly real estate agents, or in some cases, going to areas that you're looking at duplexes, triplexes, and calling up some of those agents, because most likely the ones that are representing those sellers are obviously they're working with an investor. So those are just some of the ways you can find an investor friendly real estate agent.
Yeah, I would say find a mentor.
Well, that too, yeah.
More so than just an agent, because when you find a mentor that has done the process many times, it can guide you through the same process.
No, absolutely.
And for example, like let's say you want to invest in multifamily properties. Those properties, there's some realtor that actually does that as his only thing.
Yep.
That specialized person can guide you in a way that a regular agent can't. So I'd say find a mentor first that does what you want to do. Once you find a mentor, ask for advice. Make sure you do some research yourself. Go on YouTube if you need to, or look at some books. Then at that point, you go into that situation with an educated mind. You talk to them. Okay, we're on the same page here. Good. Let's do business. At that point, you're both educated and you can both move forward with the right choice.
Absolutely.
Yeah, but definitely a real estate agent makes everything way easier, guys. I would. What up, Chris?
No, I have my 2 cents on that too. If you wanna, if I want to share.
No, absolutely.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, sure. This month I've been finding a place, and definitely not doing real estate, but to having an agent like Roger helped me out for the first 2 weeks, and he's been very helpful. Saved me lots of time and money. And then I hired a broker to help me find my current place, and he knows so many tips and tricks, and he's cut me lots of time. And so, guys, what they're saying is true about finding someone, a real estate agent. Do it. Don't do your research. Hit them up, and just go from there.
Roger, can you tell people how they can vet a good agent? Because there's a lot of crappy agents, especially down here in South Florida.
Yeah.
Bro, I can't tell you guys how many of these agents. I'll say one thing that I noticed: if they do a part-time, don't fuck with them, bro. I wouldn't personally. No, you don't want to, because they kind of do it. I got my real estate license, whatever. It'd be like some dumb bimbo that does it like 1 hour a week and stuff like that. She got it on the side because she doesn't know what she's doing. She's doing OnlyFans. She's doing real estate. She's doing crypto. She's doing a bunch of stuff. She's jack of trades, master of none. Like, you want someone that knows what they're doing. They've been doing it for a bit. They deal with investors, especially if you're trying to go down this road. You want a full-time real estate agent, bro. You don't want someone that's like part-time or kind of half-assing it, because they're not going to take it seriously. I mean, Roger, what's your take? Other tips guys can have for
I mean, me personally, I'm passionate about real estate. Would you say that from jump when you met me? You could tell I was like passionate about real estate, right?
From the moment I met you, you should get some real estate. I'm like, all right, bro, give me a break, man. Let me breathe, man.
but I mean, that's why I say you got to educate yourself, and you've definitely got to know the lingo. Like I said, you also have to know what your goal is. Like, if you tell someone, yeah, I'm looking for a turnkey, and then they start sending you stuff that needs like $50,000 in rehab.
Yeah. Can you tell them what a turnkey property is?
Okay, yeah. A turnkey property is a property that is essentially you just purchase and you start collecting rents, in the sense
tenants in it already.
Tenants in it, everything's been done. There's either very little or nothing that you're gonna do to it.
Which is what I do, guys. I look for turnkeys personally.
Correct.
I don't want to deal with it.
So yeah, just certain things. Like, for instance, if a property that needs to be rehabbed is going to be termed a value add property, because you rehabbing it is going to add value to it. And just these little basic terms: turnkey, rehab, cash on cash, cap rate, burr. Yeah, if you're talking to an agent, they don't know what these terms are. Yeah, that's not the agent you want to go with.
They need to know what these things are, guys. So
call me Gucci, man.
Personally, I would say just getting a full-time real estate agent is going to solve a lot of problems for you. Don't hire a real estate agent because she's hot, guys. Okay, don't hire. I mean, if she's qualified, she's qualified. You know what I'm saying? That's fine. But some of you guys a little thirsty. Oh, she hot, bro. Oh, I'm gonna hire her. Like, nah, man, don't do that.
One of the best
especially
ways
in South Florida, people be doing that, man.
Yeah, one of the best ways to vet somebody is to actually go, hey, show me your properties that you're working on right now. Show me some of your reviews. Show me some of your clients.
There you go.
And they'll tell you, look, I just sold like 10 properties yesterday, last month. Like, you can see a track record. And then guess what? A lot of these people are dealing with high profile clients like millionaires, billionaires. So if they're working with them, you could work with you too.
No,
Exactly,
absolutely,
man.
facts.
So yeah, guys. So that's get a real estate agent, man. It's important. It's going to save you a lot of headaches. Okay.
Yep.
Now, and also they're going to be like a conduit between you and the other party, and you know what I'm saying. They're kind of like think of it as they're like your
negotiator,
advisor. Yeah, they're negotiator. You know, they're fighting for you, bro. Karen Deep Singh. Hey, Myron, ask BOFA. I think BOFA for vacant lot loans. They don't give them out because they can't have collateral on the properties. What should I do? I've never bought a vacant lot, bro. I've never done a vacant lot loan.
Me either.
Roger.
Yeah,
kind of off topic.
Hit me. I mean, that's Hit me up off after the show or online, man. You know, Instagram Roger_Lasad.
Yep, he's his Instagram is below, guys. Okay,
Yeah.
So moving on to the next one.
Isaac Rhodes, real quick, $50.
Oh.
I've been an MLO for 3 years. PMI, private mortgage insurance, is only attached to conventional loans when you have under 20% equity. As for FHA, the term is MIP, mortgage in insurance premium. You're required to pay it for 11 years or for the life of the loan. Okay. Yeah, we covered that. Thanks, man.
And last one.
James Jones, $19.
I'm here and ain't no women. Write my name down as present. Real spill, y'all killing it. Get money. James Jones. Thank you
James.
very much. And we got 4,500 you guys in here, guys.
Guys,
Please
like the video.
like the video.
Guys,
comment, subscribe.
We're dropping gems here for free, man.
Yeah, facts.
Straight gems for free.
Facts.
Least you can do is like the video. Sub to the channel as well. It's free down below.
Majestic Axel, $20. I'm a licensee, but I got my license in February 2020 when CV19 started, so I never really advanced any of that. Any advice to start looking into the market? I need to learn more, but should I still look for another agent? Just keep tuning into the broadcast, man.
Yeah.
So, okay, so we've talked about a couple of things, right? We've talked about step one. Well, number one, in your mind, what do you want to do? What's your goal? For the purpose of this show, we're talking about cash flow, making money passively, right? From owning real estate property, collecting rent. Number one, get good credit. Number two, save as much money as you can, whether it's for FHA loan, 3.5 down, or for an investor number, which is typically right now in this market, guys, 25% down, okay? Then you need to have proof of your income, have your tax returns ready, W-2s, all that stuff. If you're a W-2 employee or if you're a business owner, right? Make sure you have at least 2 years of tax returns with your business so you don't have to deal with headaches. And also have your bank statements ready to go, 6 months typically, profit loss statements, all that stuff, right? Then get pre-qualified, step 4. Now, then 5, we just finished. Get a real estate agent, vet your real estate agent, get someone who is versed in what you're trying to do, whether it's real estate investing, Airbnb. There's different types of real estate agents have different types of expertise, but get somebody that can actually help you. Don't get a part-time real estate agent or a real estate agent that's hot just so you can talk to her. Like, no, guys, take this stuff seriously, all right? Don't try to go out and get laid by a real estate agent, man. You'd be amazed at how many of these guys hire a real estate agent down here in South Florida just because she's hot. Like, bro, what the?
Stupid.
Anyway, it's a whole other thing. Okay, number 6. Identify what type of property you want and start looking at properties on whether it's Redfin, Zillow, whatever it is. I personally like Redfin because it has a pretty sweet calculator on it, which we'll show you here, guys. Right now, we're going to give you guys an example of a good property. And then there's plenty of crappy ones out there, but we're going to teach you guys how to look, figure out cash on cash, all that other stuff, because that's the metric that I use personally that I think is the most important. Because let's be honest, they say the 1% rule, bruh. In this market, you're rarely going to find a house that's going to match that 1% rule.
Facts.
Which, for those that are wondering, the 1% rule is, let's say you find a house for $100,000. It needs to be making you $1,000 a month, right?
Correct. So
pretty much.
the monthly income needs to be 1% of the purchase price.
Yeah.
That's where it comes from.
Exactly. So yeah. So if you buy it for $100,000, you need to be cash flowing, which means after all expenses are paid, right? $1,000, which is very tough to do in today's market. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So you guys want to talk about this? Finding a house on Redfin and everything like that.
Yeah, man. So me personally, I don't
or
really
Zillow or whatever
look on what's available on the market because I feel like those deals are kind of I feel like those deals are out there and they've been looked at, passed over. So I look at off-market deals where no one's seeing them for the most part, or only a select few can
Tell
see
the people
them.
how you get access to those though.
And like I said before, you find a mentor in the space that knows what he's doing. He's been in the game for a little bit. He knows the behind the scenes. He can show you some off-market properties that are not available to the general public. And those tend to be better deals, better negotiating power, and as well, they're more behind the threshold, so most people won't see them. So the point here is that I look for off-market properties. That's my spiel. If you find someone that actually has the access to those, perfect. If you can't, like you said, go to Redfin. But for the most part, I go to off-market properties myself.
So all my deals I've done are on the market, guys. So I've used Redfin. Roger, you want to tell them a little bit about finding properties on the market and versus off market?
No, yeah, definitely. So what Fresh is saying is definitely true. Your best deals, your absolute best deals are going to be off market. But now, you like you said before, you're going to have to either be with a mentor or a real estate agent that has access to that, right?
Yeah.
Most agents are going to have access to what's known as the MLS, which is a multiple listing service, which is essentially an organization that a bunch of different brokerages have come together and they're part of, and they put all this information up there for public consumption. So really important. Like when I was working with Myron, I identified what his goals were. He was qualified, got him qualified. So I knew what price range to look into. And then from there, we started evaluating properties based on area, cash flow, and expenses. So
we're going to show you guys an example of a property that's a good deal here in a second.
So in communicating, back and forth, because obviously since this is an investment property, the main thing was the return. So I started sending him spreadsheets, but I know in the beginning, different formats and certain things, and then for as kind of a quick shortcut, he would use Redfin, which actually has a pretty good calculator.
Yeah, and can we pull that up real quick, Chris, on the side? I'm going to show you guys how I use it. Actually, Redfin has an app that I like. I know there's a bunch of different calculators that you can use, but I really like the one on Redfin. Roger, everyone has different methods. Roger has a cool spreadsheet that he sends me that has everything there. So here's an example of a property that me and Roger looked at that we missed out on. This is my fault.
No, it is what it is. But you found a better one, so whatever.
So this is an example, guys. This one is rare. I ain't gonna lie to you guys. This deal is almost a unicorn. It's a duplex, 5 bedrooms each, which is insane.
Yeah,
duplex for 5 bedrooms each.
Yeah, I think it's a 5-2. Yeah, 5-2, believe. 5 bedroom, 2 bathroom.
Yeah. Now it's under contract, unfortunately, and it's here in Miami, right? And it's going for $550 right now.
It says this weird duplex has 5 bedrooms and 2 bathrooms. Incredible.
Yep. Yeah, guys, you ain't gonna find something like this, but this is an example of a good deal, right? So scroll down a bit, Chris. So this is in Alapata. It's in the hood. I ain't gonna lie. But
Lord.
Oh gosh.
But that area is up and coming, guys.
Yeah, it's coming.
Like there's a bunch of people moving here from New York, as you guys know. CV19 had all these Northeasterners getting the hell out of there from Boston, from New York, from Baltimore, Jersey. They're all getting the hell out of the Northeast and coming down here in droves. Chris can't even find an apartment, man.
Yo, it's hard as fuck, man.
Yeah, man. So it's like they're coming down here.
One word: gentrification.
Yep.
No, absolutely.
Because this is not too far from Wynwood, which for some of you guys that aren't familiar with Miami, Wynwood is pretty much like, think of it as the Williamsburg of Miami.
Yeah.
It's the art district. It's up and coming. 10 years ago it was the hood, but now it's getting it's getting more trendy and everything else like that. So this place is gonna 100% appreciate. Obviously, we can speculate, but we've been looking. It's gonna go up. So the thing I like about this is it has this payment calculator here, right? This is what when you put the 25% down, the home price, and then if you click there, the 3 dots, Chris, on the
at the bottom there.
Yep.
Yeah.
Now it tells you the property taxes, HOA dues, which thank God this thing doesn't have HOA dues, guys. Quick tip, guys: do not buy a property if it has HOAs, because that money is just going out the window. Okay, don't buy condos that have HOAs, none of that stuff. And then you got homeowners insurance, which is kind of high. It's actually, you could probably get a way better rate than that. But the point is that this property right here, you're putting down $137.5, right? And it's costing you. Can you scroll up a bit, Chris?
Yeah, sure.
A tad. It's costing you $26.32 per month. Now you need to figure out how much does it earn per month, which luckily it doesn't have it on this listing, but this is the importance of having a real estate agent. Roger is able to look at it in the active MLS, which almost always has more information. And Roger, what is this thing bringing in?
About $5,000.
So this property
There you go.
is making $5,000 a month. Okay, so let's do the math. 5,000. It's 5,000 flat.
Let me see if I can pull it up real quick.
We're gonna give you guys the exact thing because we're gonna do the math live on air with you guys.
And it's at $550 right now.
It's actually under contract right now, which hurts my soul. But so this thing makes 5,000, right?
5,037. So
5,037.
whatever, 5,000.
Okay. Yeah. 5,037 minus 20s, and remember, guys, that this is this is with the higher home insurance. You could probably, and I always like to go up, right, so that you can always be pleasantly surprised if it ends up costing less. But always round up, guys. Okay, so you don't disappoint yourself, because there was always going to be miscellaneous costs that come into play, right? So 5,037 minus 2632, that equals 2,405. So you're making, bro, $2,400 now cash flow per month. Now what you're going to do is you're going to multiply that number by 12, right? That gives you $28,860 net, okay?
A year.
A year. Now you're going to divide that by the cash into the deal, okay? Which in this case is going to be that 137.5.
137.5.
Yeah.
That gets you a cash on cash return of almost 21%, guys, which is phenomenal. Okay. That is literally incredible. You're making almost like Fresh's salary per year. His whole salary.
Lord, man.
But yeah, guys, 21% cash on cash. So, Roger, I mean, me and Roger are a little bit more aggressive. We typically don't want to do a deal if it's under 13. But guys, if you're getting a cash on cash of between 8% bare minimum to 15, you're in a pretty damn good spot, man. What's your take on it?
I guess remember that's passive.
I mean, like
man.
I said, it all depends on people's goals.
Mhm.
There was a guy I ran into years back. He just wanted 5%. But in his situation, he literally had like a few $1 million that was literally sitting in the bank, and he was getting like not even 1%.
Less than 1%.
So he was just like, the hell, man. Like, let me just stick it someplace. But he also didn't want something. He also wanted something that was like A-class property, basically low risk and like a super nice neighbor. So he was willing to take less of a return for that.
Mm-hmm.
But he saw that as, as a safer deal. So
yeah.
But
Right.
yeah, so it could be something as simple as that. They just want to, put their money someplace where it's making more money than it currently is making them.
Yeah, because then bank, you don't make shit.
Yeah, you don't
Yeah.
make. Yeah, you're better off like taking that money and throwing it into a property. Now, I know people ask, well, cash flow, what's an acceptable rate? What's not an acceptable rate? Guys, you always want to, at bare minimum, break even. Which even then, I'm shaky. I don't even want to do that. I don't even want to do that.
If it's not cash flow, I don't want it.
Yeah,
bro.
if it's not, what's your quote that you always use?
If
Roger?
it doesn't, well, all right, it's not my quote. I got this from Mr. Wonderful.
Okay.
Credit to Mr. Wonderful, Kevin O'Leary. If it does not
Like the
cash
video, guys.
flow, just say no.
There you go.
Yeah.
If there's not cash flow, just say no.
There you go.
And some people, they'll be like, I'll break even because I know that this is gonna appreciate. But it's like, oh.
But here's the problem with that, right? And we even experience this. What if you forgot something, or what if an expense goes up? So now you're in the negative.
Yes.
Like what?
And something will happen, guys. I'm telling you, something is gonna break as soon as you sign that goddamn contract, man.
And also,
It always happens.
you're not calling for things that break in the house.
Yeah.
You know, the roof, if things go wrong, hopefully you get it checked before you buy the property.
The fridge.
You know what I'm saying? It could be termite, all that shit you need to inspect first of all, but things break all the time in the property, so you never know.
Yeah, guys. So I agree with Roger 100%. If it does not cash flow, just say no. You know what I'm saying?
Let it go.
Obviously, this is a phenomenal deal. We're talking about almost a 21% cash on 137 grand, where you're making $2,400 a month. That's fantastic. But obviously, with a smaller deal, that's why the cash on cash is so good, because you're able to use a percentage back on that cash that you put into the deal. What are you getting back? You ain't going to get that on the stock market, baby. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're just not, which is why real estate is fantastic, because what you're also doing is, number one, you didn't have to put all your money into it. You leveraged, you were able to put in a portion, get into the property, make passive income, and the tenants are paying down the property for you.
Equity.
So you're simultaneously building equity in the home.
Yep.
Right? You're building equity in the home. You're getting money. It's just a win-win. And on top of that, the property is appreciating. You know what I'm saying? Real estate, pretty much what you say, it appreciates between 3 to 5%. And in this market, it's going crazy. Guys, I bought a property with Roger. I won't say the address for you crazy guys out there, but I bought a property overpriced. I ain't gonna lie. Some of you guys might look at me like stupid. It appraised for $337. We bought it for $360.
No. Well, $358. $358.
We bought it for $358, right? It appraised for $337. We bought it for $358. And I was like, and it was making 13% cash on cash. Okay, was the number, which is good, even with us overpaying for it. But that property now, guys, I closed that on March 12th. It's worth $380 now.
Yep,
it's went up 11%. Okay, and the reason why I took that calculated risk was because me and Roger, we drove around the area. We saw a train station there. We saw a new development. We saw like it was a New York-based company that was building in right around that area.
Yeah.
It was in Northwest Miami, which is an up-and-coming area. And I was like, you know what, dude, let's do it, because this area is going to explode here soon. So obviously, you don't want to buy off of speculation a lot of the time, guys. Like, that's not an intelligent way to go. But the cash on cash was good. And, I knew that it was going to appreciate to some degree, and it appreciated even faster than I thought. So sometimes you got to take calculated risk, guys.
No, absolutely. And just to break down what Myron was talking about. So this property, first of all, was completely duplex, completely rehabbed. New roof, new AC, electricals redone, tankless water heaters. We had 2 long-term tenants that are family members. So obviously there's a tie there, right?
And they had been there for a long time. Years.
Correct. The first thing I always look at is how far away are they from like basic food, like supermarket, walking distance to Walmart? How far away are they from a major employment center? Well, walking distance to a train station that takes you to downtown Miami. At said train station, there is a development being built. I think it's about 300 units, affordable housing. Then across the street from there is a huge empty lot that I looked up and found out that a developer had taken over, and they're going to build a huge mixed-use development. By mixed use, ground floor is going to be retail. The top floor is going to be, I think, 300 or 400 plus units. So yeah, definitely there's a lot of upside for the area, and it was cash flowing. So
yeah, guys, with all those things into it, we paid a little bit more. It is what it is. I was mad. Me and Roger didn't get along with the seller too much. We were basically okay. I won't say what we were gonna do, but yeah. So but we were able to we got the deal done. It was a 13% cash on cash. It was a turnkey, guys. Everything was renovated. It's an up and coming area. So it ended up working. We took a calculated risk, and now it's up 11%. So we ended up winning. Shout out to Roger for helping me find that deal. And then so you find the deal, right? You find the deal. Now it's time to go and check out the spot. This is the fun part. Okay. So, Roger, can you tell them how you set up a tour or whatever? And you got to trust your real estate agent, because there's been some properties, guys, that I didn't even check out, and we just put an offer on because I trust Roger that much. I was like, man, if you think it's good, bro, you looked at it, let's do it. And this is the importance of having a real estate agent that you could really trust. So, Roger, when you go and you set up a meeting and everything else like that, what's your strategy? What do you go in there looking for? What are things that scare you off? I know we saw some crazy stuff when we were looking at houses together.
All right. So Myron, I had to kind of guide him a little bit. He was helping me a lot. He was definitely a very enthusiastic, very energetic. He wanted to buy something, and he was like, "Hey man, let's check this one out. Let's check this out. Let's check this out." And I'll be honest with you, now it's over and said, like, some of the stuff we initially went out to, I knew it was a complete waste of time, but I kind of felt like I had to show you it was a complete waste of time.
Like that one house where the meter was in the cabinet.
Oh my God! So dude,
we showed up
in Miami, right?
Bro. Yeah, he sent me a picture. That was horrible.
So we went into a house. Like right off the bat, I saw issues because she took us out back. I think in the beginning, so there was like a back cement patio. I saw roots underneath the patio building lifting the cement. I was like, okay, that didn't look good. She couldn't tell me how old the roof was. We're going in through rooms, bedrooms. She's saying her bedrooms are missing a closet or missing windows. And then she gets to the kitchen and she's like, oh, by the way, guys. And she opens up a cabinet and there's an electric meter inside the cabinet. And I'm like, and I'm just looking at, I'm like, at that point, I'm like, whatever. But I'm looking at her like, come on, man, you've been an agent for a while. The inspector is going to come out and he's going to be like, what the hell is this? Fail. I'm out. Deuces. So yeah, definitely. But for people out there, what you should be paying attention to for every property is you need to know the age of the roof, because if that needs to be changed, that's going to be a huge expense, especially if it's a rental property, because depending on the extent of the roof, if it needs to get changed, you may not be able to have people stay there while they're changing the roof. AC is another biggest expense. You need to determine the age. I mean, usually AC is 15 to 20 years, and then yearly to buy.
No wall units, right? No window units, right?
No, the window units. I mean, that's just going to be headaches. That's another thing too. I'm sure a lot of people out there have heard, oh my God, I don't want to buy rental properties. Toilets, tenants, and trash. It's horrible. It's messed up. That's mainly because people are buying things and not willing to take the time and the diligence to, go through everything. Next on the list are water heaters. Probably no more than, I mean, if you're around maybe 10 years on the older water heaters, you probably are looking to either have issues or they're going to need to be replaced. The best water heaters right now are the tankless ones. They're more energy efficient, as well as I believe they last longer. And then you just want to look for anything else that might potentially cause issues. One of them is like big trees and roots uplifting patios or things like that, because that could, you know, depending how far it goes, that could damage the foundation. As well as we live in Hurricane Alley. So if there's a huge tree in your backyard, you also have to be somewhat concerned that this may end up in the living room of your property at some point if there's a strong enough hurricane.
And then age of the home, I know that's a big one.
Actually, so okay, guys. So I'm sure everyone's aware
Break it down
that Miami has had a condo that essentially collapsed. So I've been doing a lot of reading, a lot of studying on that. And this is what I found out. So in Miami, and we have a lot of old homes here. We have I've seen homes as old as built in the 1920s. So essentially, up until about the 1970s, even though the building codes were less stringent than they are now, or they were in 1995, the builders had a sense of pride in their workmanship and would build the properties way in excess of the building codes. Now, 1980, there was a huge influx of people that started moving here, and the builders couldn't keep
why.
up.
1980s.
Yeah, the people couldn't keep up. So to be able to meet the demand, the builders cut back on their quality, and a lot of times they were just building it to the bare minimum.
Oh shit!
And as you guys know, when they're doing stuff to the bare minimum, corners get cut, certain things aren't done properly, and you end up with the champagne. So basically, from 1980 to about 1995 is when they enacted the new codes because of Hurricane Andrew. Yeah, that age range, at least in this area, is the one you have to be extremely careful about as far as quality and craftsmanship goes. So
from 1980 to
1994.
Okay, all right. So yeah, guys. I mean, the age of the house does matter. You know what I'm saying? The newer, the better, typically. What Chris, what's up?
No, it's an RIP to those guys, to the people who lost their lives.
Yeah, RIP
to
the people.
Yeah, I want to add one more thing there regarding the properties that you look at. So when my realtor, he pointed out some things to me because I bought a fixer-upper. So basically, I need to update the windows, I need to update the AC because it was, you know, the wall AC units,
right,
and then also the paint of the property. So I said, you know what, I could buy it for this price, do some renovations here, and raise the rents. So basically, I fixed the AC, essential AC. I fixed the windows, hurricane impact windows, and then let's say the rents for $900, raise it to $1,300.
No, yeah.
So now I can raise the rent by adding value to the property that I can see that the other owner didn't add.
Yeah. So, and guys, quick tip when it comes to like, you know, buying a fixer upper or whatever. When we say fixer upper, we mean like minor fixer upper. You want like, you know, new paint, you know, maybe redoing a kit, like minor stuff, bro. Like you guys don't want to buy a whole thing that's gutted and redo it. Because here's the thing, especially as a beginner, like you don't want to have to foot the bill for that. It's going to take more time. You're going to have to be more patient. Like you're going to want to be an experienced guy to be able to go in there and like redo it and fix it from the ground up or whatever.
It's a lot of money.
And it's a lot of money, man. So you want to buy it as close to turnkey as possible. If not, cosmetic fixes with paint, you know, maybe getting rid of carpet or whatever it is, minor things that you can like get a general contractor that's terrible can do in his sleep. You know what I'm saying? You got anything else, Roger, for that?
No, that's about
as
it.
Far as like when you're looking at homes and stuff like that.
Yeah, I mean, I think those are the major things. I mean, obviously, there may be some things that come up with well, actually,
make sure they have water meters. And
actually, that's another thing.
Water meters,
that's a big thing.
Enough, so it actually qualifies. Here in Miami, everyone's ghetto. It's like they'll call it a duplex or a triplex, and only has it doesn't like it's the city doesn't recognize it as like.
Well, yeah, that's something, and I guess that's where working with a realtor also helps because you should always check out the tax records and make sure that it matches the listing. Because unfortunately, you have something that's listed as a 5.3 on the tax records. I mean, on the listing, but then when you look at the tax records, it's like a 4.2, and you need to figure out, is that a mistake on the tax records, or was there some work that was done that wasn't properly permitted, or basically work that you could buy it and then later be fined for having it, even though you didn't do the work. So,
all right. So, anything else to look for with that?
So you're mentioning the water meters. So here's one thing. Here's a little thing. Like sometimes these units, they'll have a washer dryer, which is fine. It's a good thing. But if they don't have a separate water meter, that could potentially not be a good thing for the landlord because you got to pay for the water unless you then kind of make an arrangement with the tenants about what they pay for water. But then that can get kind of messy because if you have one tenant that uses way more water than the other tenant, and then they start comparing notes, I mean, yeah, it's better to get a water heater, or if there is no water heater, you forget about the washer dryers, because if they're not paying for water, I mean, they'll take like one underwear and throw it in the washer and wash it, right? Like, what do they care?
They don't care.
Yeah,
facts. So okay, guys. So quick recap before we get into the we're rounding home here. Okay, guys. So number one, well, not even number one. This is like step 0. Figure out what your goal is. Do you want to buy a vacation home and chill in it? And you don't care if it pays for itself? You know, Roger's had a bunch of tenants like that, especially down here in sunny Florida. Do you want to buy a cash flowing property that basically after bills are paid, you're making some money? Do you want a property that's gonna you're gonna live in as a home? Figure out your goal. Okay. Once you figure out your goal, then it's going to be a lot easier to maneuver down this real estate path, right? So for example, purposes of this podcast, we're talking about making money. My personal goal was to make hopefully by the end of this year, $10K a month passively through real estate, right? And then eventually up to $20K, and then maybe even further, and then diversify into other things. Fresh also has a real estate property. He's focusing on basically your main thing is you just wanted to get your primary expenses out the way, right?
Dude,
which you've accomplished.
Once my bills are paid, that's all I want to do.
Yeah,
at least for right now.
So and then Roger, you guys heard his lofty goal, making $100,000 a month through real estate, having 300 units, right?
3 to 4.
Okay. So that's now that you have okay, I have a number amount, whether it's a number amount, a unit amount, whatever it is, you have a goal, right? Now it's time to start getting on it, right? So get good credit. Okay, guys. Once again, sponsor of this video,
IdentityIQ.
The IdentityIQ. We talked about it, guys. Credit is necessary. Use the link below. Empower yourself. Figure out your credit score, because everything from this point forward is contingent upon your credit score being at an acceptable level, so you can go to the bank, get approved, and be able to get a home. Okay.
And guys, I told a story about why you need credit, especially when you come to America. If you're new here, even if you live here your whole life, credit is important for everything that you do in life, man.
Guys, $1. Get in there for $1. Use our link. Get in there, monitor your credit. It's literally one of the best things that you can invest in. You guys are out here buying bottles of Hennessy that are 20 times that.
How good that makes
times that, bro. So instead of buying Hennessy, stop being stupid, okay? And go ahead and use that money, stupid, to invest in yourself.
Yep.
So that's step 1. Get good credit, okay? And that starts with monitoring your credit and fixing how to fix it. Figuring out how to fix it. Yep. You can't drive somewhere you've never been before without a GPS. Okay? And that tracking your credit is going to be the GPS so that you can fix, okay? Pay down your debt, pay everything on time, and start using less of your credit percentage, or get more credit so that when the credit that you are using is a smaller percentage of your overall credit, guys. Okay,
because your credit limits.
Exactly. Or you can increase your credit limits. That's another fantastic thing. Yep. If you call your credit card company, you're not an idiot, bro. They're most of the time they're going to give you a credit limit, even if it's a few $1,000s. It's going to help you dramatically, because now you might go from, remember we talked about 30%. It goes from 30%, right? And then you increase your credit limit. Now it's down to like 15%, 20%. And that's going to improve your credit score because your utilization is lower, correct? And once you get over 30, that's when things start to get tricky. And once you get over 50, that's when they start, oh, what the hell's going on here? And that's when your card starts getting a little shaky. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So step 1, number 0, figure out your goal. 1, get good credit. Step 2, save some money, okay? Be frugal. Whether you want to do an FHA loan and only get in on 3.5%, or you want to go the investor route and put down that nice 20 to 25%, guys. The markets are competitive now. You're going to have to probably put 25 to 30% down, guys. It is what it is, okay? Either or, you got benefits of both. With the, obviously with the FHA, you can get in with less, but you got to pay PMI. Obviously, you're gonna you want to use the house hacking to that some degree. You might not cash flow as much. It is what it is. You have less equity in the home. Or you could put down the 20, 25% down, or more like 25, 30% down. You get more equity in the home. You're able to cash flow better, and you don't pay PMI anymore, right?
Yep.
So there's 2 routes you can go. Then step 3, have proof of your income ready to go, guys. We're talking your tax returns. If you're a W-2 employee, 6 months of bank statements. If you're an entrepreneur, have at least 2 years of your business being incorporated, guys. Please, I'm telling you, I learned this the hard way. Have 2 years of your business incorporated so you can go to any bank and get a loan, okay? And then 6 months of payment stubs. They're going to probably want profit loss statements. They're going to want everything, man. They're going to want your dick size, all that. So be ready, okay? Then get pre-qualified, okay? Get pre-qualified. They're going to run your credit. They're going to do a hard check. Oh, I forgot to mention this. guys, when they get the pre-qualified rate, they're going to give you an interest rate more than likely, right? That you're going to be approved for. When you guys do this, shop around to different banks. This is a key right here, okay? Shop around with different banks, because when you do multiple credit checks at different banks, right, for a better interest rate, it's going to count as one hard inquiry, okay? I'm going to say that again. When you're shopping for rates, go ahead and go to different banks, get different offers, and compare. When you get your first quote, go to the next bank. This is what they get. This is what they got me. Or go to the next bank. This is what they got me. Because if one bank falls through and isn't able to finance it for whatever situation, you have another backup bank that's ready to go, okay? And you won't be scrambling. Like me and Roger in the middle of a deal right now. We had to go get another lender, whatever. We made it happen, but we'll tell you guys the details after the deal's done. But you want to have other options, right? If one bank fails, and you're able to how do I say this? You can negotiate for a better interest rate, because you have other interest rates, and the banks want to give you the loan. They want the business. You know, they get paid by giving you money.
And oftentimes, credit unions have the best rates.
Yes, that's a good tip right there as well. Yeah, the big banks, they be on that BS. I ain't gonna lie. So you get pre-qualified, right? Next, get a real estate agent. Roger said it himself. He ain't working with you unless you have some kind of letter for how much house you can actually afford, because it's a waste of time for him to hit up his resources. Other real estate agents he knows, other developers he knows. We're talking with a developer. We're actually going to buy from a developer one of the properties. Like, he's not going to risk his connections to get you a deal that you can't even afford, okay? So don't be stupid. Get pre-qualified first, then hire a real estate agent that knows what the hell they're doing. Do not hire a real estate agent that does not do this full-time. Interview the real estate agent. Tell them exactly what you want. Ask them what they're if they have a portfolio themselves, ask them what deals they've done. Make sure that they qualify, and do not hire a real estate agent just because she's hot. I can't tell you how many times I've seen you guys literally hire a real estate agent that's a dumb bimbo just because she's hot, okay? Sex doesn't matter. Make sure she's qualified, okay? Looks don't matter. Make sure they're qualified. Next, identify what kind of property you want, whether it's a duplex, triplex, whatever it is. Maybe you're a single family home guy. Figure out what you want, and then start going on Redfin, Zillow, whatever it is. Start looking online, okay? Then when you go online, we showed you guys already how to calculate cash on cash returns. That's a metric I use. Some other guys use like cap rate or whatever. But for most of you guys that are going to use financing, whatever, cash on cash is a pretty good thing. Basically, you take the amount of money you put into the deal. Let's say it's $100,000. You put in let's say it's $100,000 house. You put 25% down, 25%, and then you make what, $1,000 a month, $12,000. That's what, 12% cash on cash, right?
There you go.
Is my math good there? Yeah. So, and anywhere between, just for so you guys know, anywhere between 8 above is good. Personally, me and Roger, we don't even look at a deal unless it's 13 minimum, bare minimum, especially in a competitive Florida market. But if you can get anywhere closer to the teens, like the 20s, whatever, excellent, man. That's crazy. Do the deal. And then after you identify the house that you might like or whatever, you and your real estate agent go. Rogers gave you guys literally like a class session on what to look for with roofs, everything else like that. And then Fresh also described the importance of, having minor cosmetic fixes. You don't want to be doing crazy rehabs where you have to manipulate the house to a whole other level where, on a developer status, like especially as a newer real estate guy, guys, because obviously this is a remedial type podcast.
Actually, one thing I should mention. So
I knew I was going to reinvigorate some memories.
No, absolutely.
Yeah.
So if you're buying a turnkey, you want to make sure first of all, you got to make sure that you use a contract that one of the contingencies is getting the leases. And if you don't like what's in the lease or the deposits, whatever, you can get out of the contract.
Well, I was going to say that in the last step.
Oh, okay.
But this is the last step right now.
Oh, okay.
So that was step 7, was check out the property and make sure it's good to go. Then, last one, guys. You make the offer for the house, okay, with your real estate agent, and you get under contract. And then, Roger, take it away, man. Let the people know, like, everything, because you got this pretty much like, hey, I need this, I need that.
No.
Like,
absolutely.
Roger is a hawk with these guys. Like, he's on them, like, we're under contract. We got 30 days or 45 days, whatever it is. I need all this stuff. You want to take them through what you...
Yeah, so in the state of Florida, I mean, I'm sure there's similar contracts outside of the state of Florida, but I'm going to talk about state of Florida. So number one, when I get under contract, I want to make sure that my buyer is able to get out with their deposit secured, right? So we're going to have an appraisal contingency, a financing contingency, and if it's an investment property, we're also going to have a lease contingency as well. So And that's kind of important because Ryan kind of ran into a situation there on one of the properties with the lease. So with the lease contingency, you want to make sure if you're buying something with tenants in it, that there's nothing in the lease that that you don't like. And if there is, you could basically back your way out of it. The appraisal contingency, if the house doesn't appraise, you definitely make sure that you have language in your contract that says that, hey, either side could walk away.
Which appraisal, guys, when the appraiser comes in and like evaluates how much money the house is worth.
Correct. And I also forgot to mention the inspection contingency as well. That's also extremely important because if something major is discovered during inspection, or hey, even if it's something
like
minor,
a meter being in a cabinet.
Yeah, or even something minor that
termites,
that maybe your buyer doesn't particularly care for, that could be a point of either to renegotiate or to walk away from the deal. So with that being said, I mean, most people understand inspection contingencies, appraisal contingencies, finance contingencies, which basically means that if for whatever reason financing falls through, you're not on the hook.
Like if your bank can't do the deal, because what'll happen a lot of times, kind of we almost ran into that. Like let's say the house, the seller selling it for $150,000, but it only comes back with the appraiser that's only worth $100,000.
Right.
Well, now you have to come out of pocket more to get the property because the bank is only going to give you 75%.
Correct.
They're not going to give you, if you're putting down 25%, they're only going to give you, it's worth it's $100,000. You're buying it for 100. You're under contract for 150, but it only came as 100. So now you're only getting 75 grand for the bank. So you got to come up with the other 50,000 out of pocket. So obviously a lot of people won't be able to do that. So you can back out the deal and get your deposit back. Because a lot of these guys are going to want something called some states call it an earnest fee, or some people call it deposit, earnest money, deposit, whatever it is. Basically, you got to put in like, what is it? Is it like 1% or something like that?
I mean, it really varies, but anywhere from 1 to 3 to 5. I mean, it depends. But you got to put some money down
from 1 to 15,000
to let the seller know that you're serious and
serious about it.
And if you tie it up, if you tie up the property, and let's just say, for whatever reason, you're like, hey, man, I don't want to go through this anymore. I want out. Then the seller will be like, all right, well, I'm going to keep your deposit for wasting my time.
Exactly. It's to protect the sellers from like flaky.
Yeah, exactly.
Could you imagine if you made chicks give you an earnest fee for dates?
That'd be funny.
That'd be hilarious, but that's all this other situation. Late night show coming. And then so you have the appraisal contingencies. You also do some unique stuff. You request Estoppel. Can you break it down with the Estoppel letters and all the stuff that you?
All right. So now
this is what your real estate agent should be doing for you guys.
So now, all right. So the first property with Myron, I mean, we closed in March. So we were in the middle of not just the pandemic, and I don't know if everyone on the chat knows this, but we had an eviction moratorium going on. So in addition to getting copies of the leases, we just basically contacted the agent and we just said, look, we need to see signed letters from you, the owner. Well, actually, this was a situation where the agent was also the owner. So we need to see signed letters from the owner as well as the tenant stating how much they're paying, that they haven't been delinquent, and how much are on deposits. And these needed to be notarized.
Bam.
This was to, at least give some level of confidence that these guys were not just in the property and not paying, and Myron would have bought the property and not been able to evict them. So that that basically secured that. Now, some
people will say that's extreme. Oh, bro, you need
no. This was not extreme. No, I mean, this was not extreme because of the situation we're in now. Exactly. During normal times, it's not as big of a deal because if they're not paying, and you could get, you can basically evict them relatively quickly and get some other people in there paying market rents. But obviously, in the pandemic, when there was an eviction moratorium, that was a major concern. So that was something I did to make sure Myron was covered. In the event that the seller wasn't being 100% honest about why he was selling. So,
yeah. And then regarding contracts, the thing is that guys always forget too, you need a reserve. So when you go buy property, you might have the down payment, but you also have to show reserves for the bank too, right?
No, absolutely. Well, especially if you're especially if you're self-employed, you're absolutely right there. Yeah.
They're gonna. If you're self-employed, guys, I'll be honest with you, they're gonna grow you. They're gonna want a lot more from you versus when you're a W-2 employee. Yep. Like they're gonna want more. They're gonna want 2 years of tax returns because you're considered higher risk. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely, yeah.
So it is what it is when you're an entrepreneur. It's a little bit harder, but you can make it happen. So yeah, guys. So and then when all of that is in play, right? You're under contract. You've checked everything. Everything checks out. You go to closing. which at closing, can you tell them what goes down there?
Okay, closing is basically when all the money gets to change hands. The deeds, all the you pay your
Closing costs?
transfer taxes, closing costs,
Title fees,
all that stuff. Everything changes hands, and then you finally get the key to the property, and it becomes yours.
Yep.
But right before the closing is the final walkthrough.
Yep.
So,
You want to tell them a funny story about our final walkthrough?
yeah. So,
Story time.
I got it. You can tell this one.
So, we scheduled the walkthrough. The walkthrough was scheduled at pretty tight for us to give us enough time to do the walkthrough, which I scheduled about 15-20 minutes through the walkthrough, and then head to title, which is about 30-minute drive away. So the first thing is get to Myron, and I guess Myron, he's trying to get jiggy, getting all whatever. So it takes a little bit longer than I would have thought. So we're running a little late. So
I don't
I'm
have any
like,
clothes, so I had to look in my closet for something.
so we're running a little late, but I'm like, all right.
He said I can't wear shorts to this thing.
Yeah,
no,
no big deal, right? No big deal. So we pull up, and as we're pulling up, we see flames coming out of a window.
Wait, what?
Yeah, we see
flames coming out the window, dude.
So we run in, open the door. There's like smoke everywhere. We're like, what's going on? There's like yelling and screaming. And essentially it was a grease fire in one of the pots. And then we have one kid, like it's one of the young kids. He's getting ready to like throw this big bucket of water. We're like, no, don't do that. Yeah, like, no.
Because you know what would happen if that happened, bro.
So Myron's freaking out. He's like, call the police. And I'm like, all right, guys. I'm from the big family from the Caribbean. So I grab a cover. I put it over the pot. Fire goes out. I've dealt with grease. Yeah, I'm sure Fresno has dealt with grease fires before too. I'm from the Caribbean.
It happens all the time.
Yeah, we understand what's going on. So that happens. To Myron's credit, he's like, hey, where are you guys' fire extinguisher? Oh, we don't have one. Ordering now.
On Amazon right there on the spot, bro. I bought it.
I learned something new, man. Every year you're supposed to refill your fire extinguishers because they might be low, and you might get fined for it if you don't.
Yeah, no, facts.
Yeah,
facts. So this had never happened to me before. So luckily there was no damage. It was just pot, just some smoke. So everything's cool. We checked everything out. Did finish doing the walkthrough. Then we headed out to closing. And while I was there, we started going through the process. So the title company is essentially right next door to my brokerage. And it happened to be that my broker was there.
There's typically an intermediary, guys, that like handles the money that you give the earnest, your earnest thing, your deposit to them, and then they hold it, and then they're the go-between you and the seller, whatever it is. In Connecticut, it's a lawyer that you have to deal with. Here in Florida, it's a title company. So there's typically someone in the middle that's like dealing with all the money and stuff.
Yeah, so while you started the title process, my broker happened to be next door, so I went out and started talking to him and told him about the situation. And my broker's been a broker for about 30 plus years, and he was like, "That's a new one." So anyway, it was definitely a good experience, and it's a good experience to relate this to other people to know. So when you do the final walkthrough, if the property is not in the condition that it was in when it went under contract, you could back out of the deal. Bam. Or the seller, we'd have to postpone closing, and the seller would have to fix the property on his own dime to give it back to the way we saw it when we went under contract.
Right.
So just keep that in mind, guys.
Bam. And guys, that is how you go from A to Z. Obviously, we didn't get into crazy details, but that's how you go A to Z.
And obviously, we didn't cover every single aspect.
Yeah,
we covered the most
the basic stuff, guys.
Definitive points of getting property.
Basic stuff, guys. Yeah. Basic stuff.
Yeah.
So, okay, let's hit these super chats real quick.
We have one.
Okay, sweet. Cool. Dr. Easy, DC area, you can expect to have to waive pretty much all contingencies for the seller to look at your offer. Lucky AF with my appraisal, but I had to give them a $7K under appraisal out of pocket payout. The market here is insane. Oh, wow. Cool. Sorry, man. That sucks. Hey, Myron, ask for BOFA for vacant. Oh, no, that lot loans. We read that one already.
Yeah, man. Hit me up offline on that one.
Yeah. Hit Roger up on that one, guys. That's another.
That's a commercial. That's a straight commercial deal. So, we can't really get into that.
Roger, where can they find you?
On Instagram, Roger_Lasade. I should be the only one on
LISSADE.
And the link is below, guys. Guys, use the link. Get in with IdentityIQ. Okay.
Get credit.
Get your credit checked. improve your credit so that you can know what the hell you're doing, because you need that GPS, and just work towards getting a better credit score so that you guys can get in this game, start making money, man.
Yeah, man, cash flow, man.
Yeah, man, that's what it's about, man. Guys, we're gonna take a break, and then we're gonna come back and go live at 10:30.
Yeah,
10:30. Yeah, some ladies are here already. They're calling me up.
No, actually, that's my food, Uber Eats.
Oh, fat ass Chris.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, guys. So we're gonna take a quick break, and we're gonna come back in about an hour, a little over an hour 20 or so, and we'll catch you guys right back here for First Fit After Hours with some girls, and we got a special guest in the house,
A rapper
/ musician, very talented guy. We met him at Komodo while we were,
You met him.
they're womanizing. You met him too, nigga.
No, I did. I was with some girls.
All right.
Listen, man. End the show, man. Let's get out of here.
We'll catch you guys. Peace.
Peace.
All right, guys. Have a good